We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What up, though, people, man? Hey, look, man, hey, I told the people, taking these rare moments, Kool-Aid without a hat. Let's get right now. It's your boy, Detroit Kool-Aid. We got Woodward Platte. We got Jeff in the TD booth, and you know what? We got a red-hot Detroit Pistons team. You guys can already tell. I'm fired up, man.
Going for 12.
Yeah, but you know what? A little extra sauce. Who's stepping out there right now? Tobias Harris is back. What else did we get pregame? Jaden Ivey is back.
Let's go.
I'm already on one.
I'm ready.
I don't even know where this came from, but I'm ready.
Man. I'm ready.
Don't lay an egg, Pistons.
Yeah.
They can't go out there and drop an egg.
They can't. You know how much.
Giannis.
You know how much shit our boy Easy will talk if Ivy loses the first game back.
But you know what though? Tell me this isn't a starting five of like random Pistons killers.
Yeah.
You got Miles Turner, Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma.
Yep.
This is not a game that's just, hey, we're going to run out here. Giannis isn't here, and we're just going to run over.
Not.
This is a game where you got some players who have done the Detroit Pistons dirty over the years, and you want to see them step out there like the team who's been red hot over the last 11, 12 games, getting your vet back, getting Uncle Tobias back. You want to see this team step out there and prove that they are the top team in the Eastern Conference. The Bucks do win the tip. Let's rock.
I think you will. And the one thing that we'll get to what we have expectations for Ivy in a second, but for me, the one thing I want to stress about this game is that
don't tell me that was Bobby Portis who just hit a three.
I didn't catch who that was, but corner three to put Milwaukee up 3-0.
I've seen that headband kill us since he was with Chicago. I swear that was Bobby Portis. As soon as I told you guys,
I wanted him.
Don't sleep on these guys.
I would love that. I would love that. Jalen Duren answers back with a bucket of his own. It is 2-3, Milwaukee's
First
lead.
Down.
Look, they also have the leading shot blocker of this decade so far in Miles Turner, and the Pistons get their points in the paint. So this is not going to be an easy game, no matter Giannis or no Giannis. It's not going to be easy.
But when you talk about that next level, this is where they're going to have to find a way to solve some of the things that usually discombobulate them.
Three, let's go. And Pistons got the lead 5-3.
Hot. Oh, he's fired up.
He is.
You see him talking.
He's talking choppy, yeah.
Well, let me get this. I got the ball in my hand, so you know what? We'll keep it in the hands. To the first time out, at least.
Let's see.
Hey, they're playing good defense, man to man, just straight up. You see a little bit of zone principle so that they can cover the backdoor cuts. Good defense. Good defense. They're rotating well. Late rotation by Asar, but it didn't cost them.
Yeah,
it didn't
Asar
cost
was
them.
a little bit of ball watching there.
Yeah.
He was.
Oh, shoot.
Duren, great
pass.
pass to Tobias.
Tobias with the and one. Talk to him, Unc.
Kool-Aid.
Talk to him, Unc.
I am shocked that Tobias and Ivy are playing. I know we talked about it the last couple of days, but I did not see this coming. I thought, especially with Ivy, there was going to be a ramp up, and even Tobias as well. He's missed a significant amount of games already. So
I knew there was a chance when they recalled them. Remember when they went down, you said, what does this mean? I was like, look, there's sometimes they just send them down just to practice while they're playing other games and just let them focus. Now that I've noticed this trend, when they do that, it's to have them go full speed. It's to have them in controlled environments outside of the practices where they're able to play, able to go up and down. You're able to say, you know what, they're ready to step out there on the court. So it'll be interesting to see. I know when Asar Thompson first got back, they had minutes restrictions.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see if they have that with Tobias and Jaden Ivey, who's coming back from a pretty tough injury.
I imagine they will. And look, the Pistons got the depth to do it.
Good defense. Good defense. Did they force the shot clock violation?
I think they called it, yep.
Good job. They already forcing the shot clock violation early in this game. There's 9:53 left in the first quarter. They're up 7-3. The only points that the Bucks have is that Bobby Portis 3 off the tip.
Since their first possession, Milwaukee hasn't scored. The Pistons have had a stifling 2 minutes of defense now, and their offense is getting in rhythm as K drives to the basket for a flush.
What are y'all hearing me say? Asar bring the ball up, throw it to Cade on that right side, ISO go. That type of stuff he can do all the time. And you know why? When you have Asar bringing the ball up like that, you're not getting the double team looks, you're not getting the full court pressures and all of that because they're not as concerned. It gets Cade a little bit more time, that extra second on that ISO in the corner to just go. They're up 9-3 after they played more good defense. You got point Durant all
Durant
the way down
all the way. Oh. Gotta
Smokes the
finish,
layup.
big fella. Gotta finish,
Smokes
big
the
fella.
layup. Shout out Loon.
Yeah.
Good defense by Cade,
Every time
though.
they smoke a layup, you got to shout out one of our either Jars or Looms.
That's fair. We might do that a bit with Asar with the ball here.
Stop, dog.
I love Asar, but he's got to
That's
get
not a layup.
better.
That's not a layup.
Yeah,
Don't
that's not
say
a
it
layup.
to
That's
that
not a
one.
layup. All good. All good there.
I mean, you're being fair, honestly. I mean, those are the moves that when he's in that painted area, those have to be buckets for Asar Thompson.
Absolutely.
Those have to be. He's
And
too athletic.
AJ Green, how about that kid, by the way? He's been good.
9-6. Pistons still
Cade.
lead.
Cade is able to, you like to see it, Cade has been able to get to his spot. Nobody on this Milwaukee team has been able to get Cade off of his spot. Duran.
Good pass on the floor, but
Duran.
good
Duran.
pass. Asar does not smoke the layup.
He does not. Still shot.
But you know what I love is I was able to ask JB Bickerstaff when I asked him about, hey, they're being
Asar cookies.
Whoa, let's go. Let's
Tobias
go.
is like,
I
yeah,
thought he was gonna give it to
you
the
got that one, young guy.
But they ain't calling nothing. All right, 13-6.
They called timeout.
But what's the name was calling for? They're not gonna review that, man. That's just straight up good defense. But I
That
got the
was
chance.
cookies.
This is the first time out of the
Man,
game.
look at Ivy.
Look at Ivy in the
actual
huddle.
gear, not suited up.
Let's rock. Cade, man. Them left-handed dunks from Cade Cunningham was trying to get real vicious.
Man.
13-6. First time out, 8:04 to go. And it was cool, man, to be able to talk to JB Bickerstaff after their second to last game they had at home. And remember, they put up back-to-back 66 points in the paint, bro.
Absolutely.
And I was like, yo, you guys are number one in the league and blah, blah, blah. You guys are taking this step forward. You know, what's your assessment on it? What's the mindset, blah, blah, blah. He said, look, that is our mindset. Our goal is to be number one paint team, period, across all metrics. And our philosophy, whether we're shooting a three or not, our philosophy realistically is to touch the paint first. That's dominance. I love that. So now, what did we see on that last play? We saw Cade literally go all the way down to the paint and even tiptoe the paint and just pull it out.
Yeah.
Like, I like the fact that they're thinking more downhill. They're thinking more athletic.
Absolutely.
They're thinking more at the rim. Why? Because you got a team full of 6', like 5s, 8s, 6'6", 6'7". Like, when you got those types of guys who you see Cade finishing with dunks, you know what Asar can do, you know what Durant can do. I absolutely like this. I think it plays to who they are as a team. And then who do you see who shouldn't be open at all, still getting open? Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson.
That's what's the beauty about this type of offense. That 0.5-second offense that Monty said he wanted to bring, JB Bickerstaff has instilled it with these guys.
Absolutely.
And it's like you see them making the decisions, getting into the paint, and making physicality a thing again here in Detroit, bro.
We're seeing so many interesting things play out here in this game, too. Like, there's so many things to get into, Kool-Aid. So I'm actually glad we have a commercial break because one of the things that's interesting is, so the starting lineup, right? No Jenkins starting, Tobias starting, Ivy not starting. Both Tobias and Ivy coming off of injuries. Obviously, as we know, Ivy's was more significant. But still, Tobias missed a portion of games. Isaiah Stewart has started well in place of that. It's just interesting to see the lineup decisions that JB has went with in this game.
If I was there, I would have asked him that question. I'm sure one of our guys will.
Yeah.
We got a pretty cool and pretty intelligent beat.
Absolutely.
And what I've noticed, though, is this. The player who's not starting is Isaiah Stewart, who needs those minute restrictions. He's been playing a little bit extra and carrying a little bit more than they would have liked him to do early in the season. You remember last year they tried to nurse him through the season. Yeah. He missed out on postseason award eligibility, played his lowest minutes per game, but had his highest efficiency. And they were like, great. That was one of the questions I was able to ask JB going into the playoffs. Hey, you 19 minutes, yes, he's losing out on this, that, and the other, but his best season that he's had across the board and defensively took these steps forward.
Struggling. Cade picking him up full. What a dog.
What a dog. And that was the thing he was talking
when
about.
When your leader does that, that's crazy.
Yeah, because he has no fear about picking up full court. He wants the number one. The reason why he doesn't have it is because the team is saying, hey, we got an Asar for that.
Yeah.
But, sheesh.
Tobias for three.
I like the look, though.
Yep.
I like the look.
Can't complain about the look at all.
Not at all. But he was excited about being able to then ramp up the usage of an Isaiah Stewart, but then he got injured again.
Yep.
Now you see him play heavy minutes, and he survived it.
Yes.
I think if you can turn that usage down and get Tobias back in the run of things, I think you do that.
Yeah, and I think you can still, to me, I've always said it doesn't matter how you start games, it matters how you close games, right? And so Isaiah Stewart can still be set up to close for the Pistons, and that's totally fine. And Tobias is very much
saw a lot of last year.
Rhythm scorer, absolutely. And Tobias is a rhythm scorer, right? So for him, it's going to be a situation where it's probably good for him to start, get the feel of the game, get some offense going. That takes some of the burden off of Cade. And we know what about this team? First quarter struggles.
Is that Portis again? Yes,
Portis
it is.
again.
Another 3. They got to watch him, dog. That's why I'm glad we got this thing going right before the game started going. And then what? Some of the players we said y'all got to watch out for are already being an issue.
Making their mark. Cade for 3. Step back 3. Let's go.
He answers. It's good to see him hit a 3 early. 6:56
Absolutely.
left in the first quarter. Pistons lead 16-9. They're trying to free what's the name?
Stu
up again.
is in already. Speaking of Isaiah Stewart.
That's actually
Portis.
longer than I thought, and it's probably he hit
Banks
another
a
3 off the. I don't think he.
That
I
don't
don't think
count.
called bank, yeah.
It don't count.
No, don't cast that check.
He ain't called bank on that.
16-12, man. I'm mad that it's literally playing out like this early, and I know it's early. But I think the Pistons gonna get going. They're up 18-12 after during finish in the paint. But it sucks to see now that Bobby Portis literally has 3 threes in the first quarter. He was one of my guys that if we got a little bit more time before the game, I was going to exactly say 100%. Just defend them all over the court. Him and Miles Turner, I don't care where they go. I don't care what they do. Just make sure that you're on those guys because we've seen them hurt the Detroit Pistons. Bobby Portis just likes playing against the Pistons.
He does.
I'm just going to just call it. How many years now?
I mean, he's been in the division his whole career. Milwaukee, Chicago, he's a Midwest.
We got Miles up top. Good defense.
Good chase by Duncan.
Good defense.
Stu's there. Cade steps up.
It was a Duncan biting on the pump fake
That
cost him on that one.
everything to fall. Absolutely. Is that LeVert?
Ooh, yeah, that had to be him. Ooh.
To Stu in the corner for 3, no good.
They're touching
Portis
the
with
paint, but they're
rebound.
taking threes. Kind of want to see them start to finish, but I know that this is a more physical matchup in the paint tonight.
Yep, absolutely. But you now have your stretch where Miles Turner is out there in the corner for 3 looking for the ball. I thought they were going to give it to him there. But you got to take advantage of those moments where Turner isn't in the paint, I think.
No, I'm telling you.
Especially like when he goes to the bench, full on attack that paint.
Yeah, this game to me boils down to those 3 players that we talked about before. Tip. It is Kyle Kuzma. It is going to be Bobby Portis and Miles Turner. Those are
front
the 3.
line.
That's the 3 for the entire game for them. And who have you seen make the difference so far? It's been those 3 players.
Absolutely. And you got to throw some respect on A.J. Green just because when he gets going from 3.
And there it is.
And there it is. Jaden
Ivey steps out on the court
There
at
it
5:34 in the first quarter. First regular season game since January 1st. Wow. Goodness gracious.
I'm calling
it. It has been almost a year since he has played
Fractured
NBA
tibia
basketball.
and knee surgery, man. And yeah, he did have the knee surgery that kept him out a little bit longer to start the season. Shout out to Jaden Ivey. Shout out to his parents as well.
He scores. He
David
scores
Hunter
on this
and
possession
Ivey.
right here.
This has got to be such a good feeling for him because he was able to come back during this Pistons win streak and contribute to it. Hopefully that's what he's going for.
And Cade's still in the game.
Stewart being selfish.
There we go. Isaiah Stewart, the nice bucket inside. Man, Isaiah Stewart's finishing has been awesome.
I kind of want to see, who can they bring in to just replace Karis LeVert for a little bit?
Yeah.
So it could be just the drafted players. You got Stu, Duran, Ivy, and Cade out there right
Ron
now.
Allen.
Yeah.
Throw Asar out there.
Throw Ron. Ron hasn't checked in yet.
Oh, throw Ron with this mix. I like that.
Obviously,
I would
gives
like
you that
Ron over
perimeter
Karis
defense.
with this mix.
Ron wouldn't have let that
I
happen.
would like Ron over Karis with this mix, actually.
I would, too.
He's having to chase him around. I don't want Karis chasing around a
Cade.
3-point shooter.
Taking it to the basket. Woo! Great play. Great read. Look, Cade is Cade. He knows the attention he's going to draw, and he
gets like
knew,
1 or 2
he
of
knew what
those
he was
a
doing
game,
there.
bro.
Absolutely.
Cross the paint, from the bottom of the paint to the top
And
of
then
the
that's
outta
the
here.
problem with this
Stu.
lineup is that you get past Duran, well, then you got Isaiah Stewart.
2
and that
guards,
is why it
2
is a
bigs,
great
bro.
defense.
There it is.
Ivy wide open for 3.
Ooh.
It is
Hey,
off.
I'm cool with it. And you saw the whole bench get up for him in
Yep.
support of him, man. He talked about the fact that a lot of the support
Cade,
of his team
cookies.
has been what's pushed him in this return. Cade with the steal. Isaiah
Stu.
Stewart, 3.
Hey!
Okay.
Man, let's go.
25-19, 4 minutes left in the first quarter, man.
Look, I'll tell you what. It is only a 6-point game, but the Pistons have looked so much stronger than the Bucks. I really believe that so far. They have looked good on offense. They have looked good on defense. Not their best, but good.
Miles Turner from 3.
And that is off.
They dodged one.
Absolutely. That's another reason that he is a problem, because not only is he a great rim protector, but he is also a shooter, a stretch big that Duren has had his issues with stretch bigs. So it's going to be interesting to see how that matchup plays out.
Duren's going to –
Isaiah with another block. Cade the rebound. Cade throws it to Ivy.
What
Ivy
pass,
to Duren.
Ivy! Let's go.
Foul.
He didn't smoke the layup. He got fouled.
Shout out Jars. Shout out Lou. Shout out Mad Pack. I haven't seen Spencer's Mad Pack. Does he drop those on Sunday? Or does he drop those on like Friday or
I
Saturday?
think I just saw it Friday, I think.
I'm going to have to check it out. Shout out. Those are always good.
That was a good pass by Ivy. Shows the patience. And that's the thing that you want to continue to see Jalen Duren get a little bit more of, is that patience. That turnaround shot that he shot, if he would have just stopped and turned and looked and realized Miles Turner's not coming out there at you, it would have been a better shot if he's going to shoot that for him to just, and McDice it. I don't want him doing the little Kobe spin and fade if he don't got to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that away from him because we've seen him hit that a couple times this year, but I would have much rather him when he got that ball from Ivy, because he did a lot aggressively to fight for that pass in the middle of the paint. Turn around and make sure then you go and you get your money's worth out of those buckets. And that's what, as this season goes along, and I think specifically in that 2, 3, 4 weeks right after All-Star break, you're going to see a completely different Duren.
Absolutely.
That's the guy who's going to, whether he's at the All-Star game or not, they get a little time to sit down, let their bodies recharge, watch a little bit of film, and hit that court with a little bit more understanding. I think he's going to be a lot more patient for it, but you see the flashes already, more than the flashes. One of the best centers in all the game today.
And you know what I want to say about Ivy quickly while he's out here? The thing about Ivy that I am looking forward to watching is the Dennis Jenkins stuff, who is now in for Cade. So Jenkins and Ivy is going to be an interesting backcourt to watch. But everybody talks about how great Cade and Schroeder was.
In there. Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily the three-point shooting. Schroeder isn't the best three-point shooter. It's the fact of having that other point guard that is able to make the plays and passing and like getting those angles. We highlighted that play, right, where Cade gave the ball to Dennis, and Dennis immediately fired the entry pass to Duren. We just saw that with Ivy. And so that is going to be a big key. Is everybody talks about Ivy, the scoring, the three-point shooting. That's all important. But to me, I am looking at the playmaking. Can he be that guy that Cade can trust to get the ball and then make the next pass, because Cade's angle is blocked off? And we saw it there, right there. That was a perfect example of it. So I'm going to continue to watch that, because that is where Ivy will shine. That is where Ivy and Cade will thrive as a backcourt.
I think early on is where it's going to pay them the most dividends for him to do that while his legs get underneath him, while his stamina gets back. Because I think that, Ivy's actually at his best when he is pushing downhill. But I believe what allows him to stay on the court and to be able to get that stamina and get those legs back is when he is making that extra pass right now. He might not be the Ivy that's hitting the three at the 40% clip that we saw last year. He might not be the Ivy that has the legs to be able to jump up and I'm just dunking over you, or I'm hitting the game-winning shot right now. And so right now, I absolutely want him making that extra pass, especially when you know that you're probably getting the ball a lot of times off of K double team, so you guys got the numbers. If it's you and just the rim, attack. If it's you and one defender, attack. If it's you and you see Duren down the middle, just like we saw in that layup on that fast break.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm hoping what that play showed to me is just that he's that the game is slowing down for Jaden Ivey.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's what I want to see it happen. Like, you're not always going to have your A1 stuff. And this is where Kay Cunningham, in my opinion, has thrived. People say, but it's shooting. But you look at the way he's picked the game apart. Yes. He got like 11 assists. He got 8 rebounds. He got 2 steals. He got 2 blocks. You look at the potential assists. You look at the probing and the pick and roll numbers. And that to me is where I think the maturation of Jaden Ivey, when he gets that down, that's when I think we're going to see the greatest part of Jaden Ivey.
Very well said. Before we
got
get
some
to our
stuff in
next
the
point,
chat for you,
John Effing Lord in the chat wanted to ask you a question. He said, "What is Kool-Aid Jr.'s favorite Lions player that's playing right now?" I might be able to stop by the studio or mail it. So it seems like he wants to do something for Kool-Aid Jr. I probably have graded card who it says.
It's Jahmyr Gibbs, actually.
It's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, he loves the character Sonic. He
Shout
loves
out
running
to John
backs.
Lord, man.
Yeah.
Shout out. What a dope dude.
even-
Always supporting. We talk about that.
Wait,
Woodward
is that
Sports Fans Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
John F. and Lord has to be in there. Supporters. Yeah, let's use the word supporters.
John F. and Lord is one of those ones, man. Like I just
Shout out to
I
you,
can't
John
thank
F. and Lord.
I
man.
can't
You're the
thank
man.
our chat like enough.
I hope
man.
to meet you one day.
Yeah, I cannot thank our chat enough. Like this has been a wild ride for me at Woodward Sports, just in general. Whether people see me in front of camera or not, it's going on over 5 years, bro. And a lot of these names have been names that have, pushed for me when I was in Sounds, pushed me when they saw me doing just Woodward Pistons stuff, pushed for you, pushed for us.
Absolutely.
And now this entire network and where we're at, the opportunities we're able to have,
It's really a
Let's rock.
family, man. It really is.
we got to find some way to get some of them in here for some of these watch
Absolutely. Ivy
parties.
attacks
Let's
the
go. Let's go.
basket.
Oh, the
What's
referee
the
looked
line?
like he wanted to give him that. He wanted to
He was
signal
waiting.
and one.
He was waiting.
What did he call a charge?
I'm guessing he called the charge. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Come on.
No, that's weak.
That's inadvertent
No!
contact. To me, that's inadvertent contact. That's not out of your way.
That's weak. Look, if you're gonna call that play, then you gotta call the hand jockeying that's going on like before it. That's Jaden Ivey, literally 2 hands on the ball. He hit him with his shoulder. It's not like he hit him with an elbow. That's just get your weight up at that point in time.
Absolutely. Gary Trent.
Pistons were
Misses
playing
the
good
three.
defense. That was a
Ron
good
Holland
defensive possession.
Man, that's how many players have seen the floor already. That was a nasty screen.
They called a foul on that? No.
No, it went out of bounds.
It went out
I
of
was
bounds.
about to
I
say.
think that screen was so nasty that
Yeah,
Ron
you
Howell
saw-
was looking
you
at
saw
that
him?
and
Yeah.
not the ball. I think he missed the ball. That was
My
crazy.
man fell so we all was just like, oh, Jeff missed the call. Like, no, that was bone crushing. The answer with a 3 though.
Bobby Portis, man.
Gosh, get him out of the Central, bro.
He's already got like 4 threes.
I told y'all.
Yep, 4
I'm
for
gonna keep
4
telling
from
y'all.
3, 12 points, 5 boards. He's already halfway to a double-double.
We should have brought him here,
That's
bro.
insane.
Just him and Stu off the bench.
I
Ugh.
know.
But I heard he wanted to start and do things, but
Yeah.
he ain't gonna start when Giannis back.
He definitely would be a great culture fit too.
Yes.
Because he's a crasher, but he
25,
seems like the type that
wants
like
the ball
it's
again.
for the team.
Who's he on? Is that Karras against
Yep.
Bobby
No,
Portis?
get Karras
Oh my
off
gosh,
of
have
him.
mercy. No.
That's not a good matchup.
That's
not a good
barbecue
matchup.
chicken, bro. Like, how
not a
did
good
that
matchup.
happen?
I think that was a switch.
Yeah, we can't let that happen no more.
That happened so quick. I didn't even
Oh
see
no,
it.
that probably is the matchup because
They're
if you look
defending
at-
each other on the other end.
they're
Or-
going small here. This is interesting. This is a very interesting lineup. I don't necessarily like it.
I don't like this. They got to get somebody else in for Karras right now, bro.
Yep.
This is like a couple
Yeah.
weird possessions for him.
So you're telling me? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, good steal.
Karras
Good
Levert,
steal.
steal.
Karras avert.
See, always went Ivy to the basket.
First
And there it
bucket.
is.
Let's go. Ivy,
First bucket.
First
That's a
basket
cheat
as
code,
a Detroit
man.
Piston.
That's a cheat code.
Man, and that's
That's gotta
gonna
feel
help
good.
you so much if you have another guy that could just rip the ball and go like that at the speed that Ivy is, man.
And you know that feel good.
He looks good, by the way. Like
that feels
running
good
wise,
for him.
he doesn't look slow. He doesn't look hampered. He looks like he's totally fluid.
Yep. And I'm glad to see Dennis in here getting these minutes in the first quarter. You know, as new players are getting back and getting healthy and things of that nature, we wonder who's going to make that rotation. Looks like he's made the cut so far. Who haven't we seen so far? Javonte Green.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That is right.
That's very interesting.
But you know what?
have another ball handler back in Ivy, and they're still saying, Dennis, we see you, my boy.
But you know what? That has to feel so good for Ivy for being out so long.
Yeah, Holland
You know,
and Ivy are coming out with 7 seconds left.
Yeah,
in the
you know, being
quarter.
able to come back and contribute. You know, that has to feel big for him. Like, just watching this team for so long do so well when he was not there. Especially when you're a player, you kind of just get that itch where you're like, man, I want to help my team so bad, and now
Did they
he's
get
finally
paid
being
that?
able to.
Did they give it to him, or did they call it on the floor?
They called it on the floor.
Is that a Timu Isaiah Livers?
That is really disrespectful because a Timu Isaiah Livers should not be in the NBA. That is a D2 baller at best. A Timu Isaiah Livers, You saw Isaiah Livers here in Detroit.
Yeah. I really want
Duncan
him to be good.
at the buzzer. Let's go Pistons. End the first quarter, 30-26. Man. Shout out the chat. Everyone in here, smash the like button. We are a quarter of the way through the game, and the Pistons are up.
So you know
who has impressed you the most, Chad? I want to see some names. I got
for me in the first quarter, it's Duncan Robinson.
Yeah,
Duncan Robinson. I thought for what this offense needs in the first quarter, when you know that the first quarter is Cade probing, what do you need? Players hitting shots. And you're talking about how many threes did the Bucks make in that first quarter? Well, the Pistons had to match, and who was the main guy out there doing it for us? It was Duncan Robinson.
Yeah,
like you see how crucial it was right there. You extend the lead to 4 points rather than just one. Going into a second where you're getting Cade back in. He got to get some good minutes on the bench with Jaden Ivey going. You get Jaden Ivey's first 2 buckets of the season, and you still got Dennis Jenkins out there, man. So I would say Duncan Robinson in this first quarter, man. What about you?
Yeah, I'm seeing Duncan in it. I'm seeing 313 Kurt, Big Duncan. Steve Dunk has ice water in his veins. Y'all are absolutely right here. For me, I'm gonna go with the Sar. I really like the way he has been locked in. He has been just an absolute menace. He looks like the guy that is giving everybody on that perimeter nightmares, because you see Kool-Aid, who are the players that are performing well so far? It's mostly the wings,
bigs, the front court,
and the bigs. Why? Because Asar isn't guarding them. He's guarding other guys. He's guarding the perimeter players. So to me, Asar is the one.
I'm glad you actually brought that up before we get just player. You said Duncan, right? Actually,
you did.
Yeah, I did. But before we go to you, I'm glad you brought that up because we highlighted Asar, but largely it's also a microcosm of how the team defense is played overall. We've highlighted it several times. They're making the rotations. They're getting back in time. They're getting a hand up in the face of the shooter, and then we see them doing something a lot better today than they did in one of the other streams. They're securing the rebound and limiting second chance points for the Milwaukee Bucks. That gives them an opportunity to go out there and hold the Milwaukee Bucks to 26 points in the first quarter, which in today's NBA, you remember back in the day, 25 points a quarter was like, woo. Yeah. But in today's NBA, 26 points a quarter means 4-point offensive rating. That's pretty low.
Yep.
That's really good for the Pistons defense. 104 defensive rating. That would put them at probably number one in the league.
Let me see what their defensive rating is actually. NBA team stats. I'm gonna look
just so we can see the pace that they're at right now, because they're on pace to score 120 points, and they're on pace to hold right now the Bucks to 104. What up, though, brother? Who's your player of the first quarter?
My player of the first quarter, I'm gonna give it to Jalen Duren, man. You know what? Still, no matter who comes
big
back,
boy for the big boy.
No matter whether it's Tobias, Jaden Ivey. Hey, man, Jalen Duren's still putting in that work, man. He's still active. And that duo between him and Cade is still looking good this game, especially to start off with. So, yeah, my player of the first quarter, I'm going to give it to Jalen Duren. Man, he's a beast right now.
Did I see Freddie Felt in there? Hey, shout out my guy Freddie Felt, man.
By the way, the Pistons are in second with defensive rating with 109.6.
109? They broke the 110 barrier.
And guess who is first?
I'm gonna cry.
OKC with 103. You said 104 is pretty good. It's basically what OKC is doing.
104 is like people don't do that.
Yeah.
So OKC is alien.
Yeah, no, they are.
Straight up. Who's in? Is that
That's Javonte Green.
That's Javonte's in now with Dennis. This is going
to be tough for JB to figure out, and I think that's why you're seeing so many weird lineups. Is I think he's experimenting with. Look, we got so much depth now. Some of these guys are going to get their minutes shrunk or even be out of the rotation.
This is the nasty boys.
This is like 11 players that have played so far, I believe.
I think he might go this deep in the regular season. I think it's the postseason where you're going to see things tighten. I think he can, because a lot of these players play off energy. They're going to get theirs. This lineup in particular, look who's all out there. They're getting theirs off of transition. You see what I'm saying?
And still, no Sasser. No Sasser. Well. So imagine when Sasser gets added into that mix. Then it's,
He's in a contract
I think Sasser has quite an uphill battle to get some minutes.
Dennis has made it really hard on him.
When you look at Sasser's minutes in stats the last 2 seasons, I know that the scoring took like a couple points back last year.
From Javonte Green.
They don't got the ball handlers they need in there. Oh, shoot.
That was a tough spill. I don't think that was meant to be that physical. Javonte Green doesn't look too bothered by it.
But Jackson is up at him.
Seems upset. But Javonte Green seems very
But
unbothered.
Javonte is just like, look,
Very
bro, if we
unbothered.
really going to be about that life, just be about that life.
Yeah.
Get in my face about it ain't nothing. Shoot.
Absolutely. What did you guys think of? What did you get? Actually, before I asked that
Jackson
question,
kind of pushed him.
before I asked that question, we got a super chat. Shout out, I ain't say that. Getting home from work, excited to listen and watch this game while I clean and eat dinner and wind down for tonight. Kool-Aid, what was your first game cover? That's a phenomenal question.
Oh, man. The first game I ever covered was actually with the Motor City Cruise.
Okay.
It was Luka Garza's first game. I remember that game. I forget who they were playing, but it was pretty, it was pretty vivid. I'm going to have to go back and look now. Dang, that's a really good question. I'm going to have to go back and look.
Shout out. That's a phenomenal super chat. Shout out, I ain't say that.
Crazy. And I remember my first press conference with Dwayne Casey was on Zoom. This is a cool story. My first season was on Zoom. It was with the COVID year and all of that stuff. And by the time they started to lift things, it was like towards the end of the season. And so I got to go to a couple press conferences in person, but I couldn't ask nothing. You know, I liked Jeremy Grant a lot, and so they invited me out to the Jeremy Grant Classic that was at Topgolf, and it was basically his going away party before any of us knew he was going away. Yeah. And Dwayne Casey was there, and I walked up to him, and I wanted to introduce myself, and I was like, "Hey, Dwayne Casey, I'm Brandon Dent from Woodward Sports." That's how I introduce myself all the time on the Zooms. He finished it for me. He's like, "You're Brandon Dent from Woodward Sports, man. I know that voice. Nice to meet you in person." And it was cool because that was where, you know, getting to know Dwayne Casey, the person, it really took off for me. And he gave me a lot of good advice right at the start of this thing for me. Right after that, the next season, I found myself on the beat, you know, with media and hitting the ground running, man. I've had a lot of good people from Stick and Joey and people here and T. Foss, the people like Rod Beard, and then the teams like you guys, man. And always got to shout out our guy, Jeff. Freddie. Shout out to him. Now we rolling with this squad, man. I like this one, man. We got Jeff, Brendan, we got Scott, Platte, KG, Anson. It's the real deal, man. And we got all of you guys out there in the chat room. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to yet, go ahead and smash that like button. Pistons are up 30-29, 10:40 left in the second quarter.
I asked the chat what they thought of Ivy's first stint. So let me know in the chat what you guys thought. I would love to see Ivy
with this lineup, actually.
I like this lineup.
I would
Duncan
like to see
and Janice,
Ivy with
I like that.
That's an offensive foul. They're not gonna call that. That boy pushed off something.
I will say Javonte.
Who would you take out? You take out Javonte, or are you taking out Dennis in this lineup to put Ivy in?
To me, right now, Javonte, and this is a real strong overreaction. Has not looked good in his first couple minutes here. Great pass, spot Duncan. For Stu to just hang out in that dunker spot and wait for the opening. Good on Janice to find him. I'm looking at Javonte Green as somebody that will become more minutes for Asar and Ron Holland come playoff time.
And Jaden Ivey bench minutes.
As well, absolutely.
Because either Cade or Ivy, I'm going to reckon, are going to come out early in the game. Whichever one comes out first,
Dennis for three,
early in the second.
It is through. That guy is shooting at an unbelievable
Confidence,
clip.
bro, is a hell of a drug.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's put in the work, though. Shout out to his trainers. We're gonna get him on the pod and talk to him as well. We're gonna get him on the pod. He's cool, man. I talked to him with Dennis, first guy here, and we got to talk to Dennis down in Summer League. We're gonna get him on the pod for sure.
Absolutely, man.
Airball three. Pistons been playing good perimeter defense, man. 9:17 left in the second. 35-33 Pistons are leading.
And you could just imagine if it was somehow that Bobby Portis doesn't have 4 for 4 threes, then this game is, it's not as close as it is,
I don't want
I like that from Javonte.
And that's where he is, and that's where he fits in with this team. Is he is a bully for his position as well, and
it don't even make sense.
His whole team is.
That was just a straight up post.
He's on Miles Turner. Let's see how he looks here. Dennis with the trap. Oh, they're calling a foul. Miles Turner. I don't want to jinx this Kool-Aid, but I'm just noting it. He has yet to make his. All right, I won't do it.
We ain't jinxing it yet.
Yeah,
no, not yet. Because when he gets going, dog.
Yeah.
When he gets going, I love Stu, but when he gets going, there's nothing Stu can do, dog.
Yeah.
Those are the moments where people are like, Stu, no. Ricky. Sheesh. Oh, no. All right, good defense.
Oh.
Good defense.
There we go.
Good defense. Javonte Green's activity. That's why I said, How is this lineup going to get their offense? How have we seen it now? Defense to offense. And Dennis, it's his job within this lineup when it is a half-court set to do what Platte highlighted, the good pass off of the swing. He made the hockey assist. Shout out to him,
Someone
man.
in the chat said KG Jenkins.
KG Jenkins? That's a new one.
Man, this guy is looking
That was
at
going to stick now.
Javante Tank. I like that one. Man, Still We Rise. Shout out Still We Rise. Dropping bangers in the chat, man. Shout out to him. Also, John F. Award said, how did you get into this business? Also, a friend of the network, Rogelio. Rogelio was the guy. I was just making podcasts myself and just covering the NBA and hip hop. And Rogelio was running at the time Sports Radio Detroit, and he reached out to me. And I didn't have a lot of attention or notoriety, but he was one of the people that found me. And he reached out and he's like, I really like what you're doing. You know, why don't you join my podcast? And so I was doing a podcast with him for a while. And then
the
fast
great
forward.
Raj.
Yep.
Shout out Rogelio, man.
Shout out Rogelio. One of the best people
So
I've
great
ever
person.
known.
I'm glad I got to work with him here. Man.
Absolutely. And yeah, he's been awesome. So it was full circle when he came here at the network. And then fast forward to here, I went to high school with Easy. Easy's older than me. And I went to high school. We had a TV class, and so Easy reached out to me around the time of like 2021, and he was like, hey, I got this start at Woodward Sports.
Remember those times?
Bring you in. I'm building a show. This was before the heavyweights, and I came in, and that's how I got here at Woodward Sports. So shout out to Easy. I don't give him the credit, and I don't think he's watching, so I'm comfortable doing it right now.
No, my first Pistons
Shout out to
shows.
Easy.
If people
I'm going to
wanna
clip
know
it and
about
send
that,
it to him.
Yeah.
The first Pistons shows I did was on the Speakeasy podcast, right here
Shout
on
out.
these desks. He put together a cast of Everything King, Anthony Colombo, who runs Pistons Talk,
Yep.
me and himself, man. It was a dope cast. And from that is where we actually got to host the Pistons draft lottery party and then the Cade party where Easy, Stick, and I were going crazy when we drafted Cade down at Imagine Theater.
Oh,
Got to
man,
host
dude, I
that.
wish I was there.
Yeah, it was, bro, like that whole process was dope, man. The first show we did, I was able to get my guy Rashad Phillips on, Talk Yoda, shout out, man, Basketball Talk Yoda. And we had Rod Beard, Vince Ellis, Kool Cahill, and Rashad Phillips on, bro, for that first show. So it was dope, and that's where everything kind of got going. Look at this, man. Oh, the 12-game winning streak. Brandon Jennings hits the Florida Center Pistons winning streak to 7 games, January 6, 2015. Dog, I remember that.
Look at,
I think they're
look
looking
at some of
the
those guys
notable
on
winning
there.
streaks.
Can you remember?
Oh, Brandon Jennings.
Remember some of
Brandon
those guys?
Jennings in
Brandon
the building
Jennings.
with Johnny Kane and Greg
Bro.
Kelser. Shout out. Man, I was a Brandon Jennings
Bro,
guy.
I love Brandon Jennings, dog.
I'm
I
gonna-
love him
I'm
in
gonna-
high school.
I'm gonna need
Yeah,
him. I'm gonna
dude,
need him
that
to get
was-
on Gil though. I'm
that
gonna need him
was
to get
one
on
of my guys.
Gil.
That's all right. He probably is the one behind the scenes telling Gil to chill.
Dog, that's
Brandon Jennings
fire,
is-
dog. I didn't
Hell
think he
yeah.
would be in there. He still supports Pistons tough.
That's what's up, man. And hey, you know he's not on the Milwaukee broadcast. That says something. That says something because he spent his time here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, he did.
I actually wonder if he's probably doing both. Honestly, I bet. he
Stop by
probably is.
both.
But I didn't see him on Milwaukee. So I always saw Pistons, so I'm gonna use that as my narrative. Platte, did you
Dope.
listen to the new De La Soul and Wale albums? Yes, I did. Both are fire. Absolutely. Black Thought's verse was incredible.
Good
on
passing.
The
You
De La
said they
Soul
getting
album.
into that paint.
And Wale is just always good at flipping samples, man. He's a G.
I worked with Wale for a few years and Tone P.
Shout out.
Shout out, man.
Man, Wale is cold. I love
PG
Wale.
County, Maryland, Baltimore, DMV, man. I enjoyed my time out there.
Brandon Jennings with the Pistons. 15-7, man. He had that stretch where he was going crazy, though.
Dennis, I knew it.
Damn.
Gosh, boy.
You know that
Dennis, man. 41-33 Pistons lead, 8-19 in the second. What up, though, bro?
that was now that I'm thinking about it. That game, Brandon Jennings' injury was against the Bucks in Milwaukee, and I remember
Goodness.
because Brandon Knight pushed off of him, and I already hated Brandon Knight for being a bust, but that sealed it.
They
That's
said-
Brandon Knight forever.
What else? What else did you?
He
what else
rooted
did
for
you
the
hate-
Bucks, though.
What else did you hate
It's
Brandon for?
understandable. Like, trust me, it's understandable. If he could have had sustained success here beyond that winning streak with the Pistons,
Oh, yeah.
I think that he'd be even more of a Pistons legend. Because you look at
Javante for 3.
he heard us talking.
Oh, yeah.
Like we was like, who's out the lineup? He was like, not me.
Yeah,
Yeah, he heard you talking.
Why am I in?
I didn't say nothing.
I didn't say he was out.
I think
I
you're
said
gonna,
this is if he's gonna have to get his offense Exactly how we see him getting it right now. This is those lineups. Like, that's the way they can go deep, is if these guys play like nasty boys. If that, like, when these guys, when you get into your 8, 9, and 10 man of your rotation, those guys are going to have to play with absolute grit.
With the speed to the rim.
And what are they
playing
with? Absolute grit.
Love to see that.
46-33, the Pistons are starting to pull away.
It's good
with the lineup of Javonte and Dennis leading the charge, bro.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that Dennis is still being aggressive, you know, with these new faces that come back, you know, back into the lineup. Jaden Ivey, Tobias, they've been out for a while. But Dennis is still being aggressive, still being, you know, the player that we've seen this past week. And that's, you know, that's a credit to, you know, who he is. He's kind of realizing that, yeah, he is going to be a part of this rotation. He just has to keep balling. And he still has his foot on the gas.
Definitely. And, you know what? I love, definitely. Shout out 45 said that Platte has dope taste in music. Shout out to Rap Cave. Everything you're doing over there. See, you got my guy Jalen over there.
Yes, sir, man. Dude, Jalen is whenever we get a Jalen episode, because it's not often, because he's always doing things. He's moving and shaking, man.
We're about to get him in with the crews,
he's a hustler.
Man.
Yeah. He is great on the pod. Man, I'll tell you, some of the funniest moments, the hardest laughs I ever have is when Jalen's in the building. So shout out to Jalen, man.
Hey.
Shout out to 1800 Parlay.
Shout out, man. And I see, Still We Rise says Nasty Boys is the best name ever. You see how they get it right now?
I can't believe that's stuck.
They're not even running plays.
Yeah.
It's just, steal the ball. It's yours. Who got the steal? All right. ISO for Javonte Green now. Let's rock.
Dude, this Pistons team, man. This reminds me of a pickup basketball experience I had at Joe Dumars, where I went with a couple of my boys and we played this group of 5, and from a talent perspective, we were definitely nicer.
Here we go.
Here it goes. They beat us every single time. We played this team 7 games in a row, and they just kept holding down the court. And why? Because every single person knew their role and played it absolutely perfectly. That reminds me of this Piston team, because you see these guys coming in and they are thriving, and they are increasing the lead without Kay Cunningham. That really shows you something. That shows you basketball is one of those sports where if everybody is in sync, knows their role, and executes it well, that is a difference, and that can overcome a lot of talent adversity. Because this Pistons roster, I think if you look at it, you wouldn't say it's the most talented. I think it's a very talented roster, but I wouldn't put it up there with some of the...
I think he has a lot of good talent, but I don't know how much high-end talent.
High-end, yes.
Jalen Duren is starting to skew what that could mean. Because if you have 2 high-end talented pieces, that does put you among some of the best teams in the league. What do people say? Carry the Knicks. The high-end talent of Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. I think that Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren are proving that they could be an even more physical, formidable bunch, when you talk about a duo. So are they there yet? I think they're on the way. But when you look at everything else, they have a lot of good players. Whether they're young or old or vet or this or that, they just have a lot of good young, a lot of good players who know how to play their role.
And if you look at one of the things that kind of hurt the Knicks in the playoffs was them not having a bench, them not having anybody to take a couple minutes off of Jalen Brunson, and that's what ended up hurting them, in that Pacers series. Detroit having this, this bench, being this loaded. Come playoff time, you shrink it a little bit, but now you still have trust in those guys to go out there and make plays when Cade just needs a quick break or when Duren just needs a quick break.
I'm glad that you said Duren as well.
Steps into a 3.
He was trying to answer the Bucks 3 on the other side, but he misses it. 6:34 left in the second quarter. 46-36 Pistons lead. Cade is back in the game.
Duncan on Bobby again.
Is that Ivy up there, or is that? Oh, that's Asar.
Great defense, great rotation from Javonte Green.
And they were baiting that the whole time.
100%.
They were baiting that the whole time.
Scoring.
Shout out to Javonte Green and the Pistons too. If you guys didn't see it, the Pistons had their tip-off season of giving. They had select families come out and over 1,200 essential food and items packages. Not 1,200 items, 1,200 packages, which could have been as much as 24 to 5,000 items, or plus being distributed to a lot of different families here. And that's not the only event they do during this holiday season. They got Toys for Tots, coat drives, and other things too. So a lot of different families are going to benefit. And as we get into February, they do get into the Black History Month scholarship event that they do at the DIA every year. So they're doing some big things. Shout out to Melanie Harris. I did get to talk to the Pistons president of business operations, the counter to Trajan Langdon, who's over the basketball operations. She's formerly of the Jordan brand, and she's loving everything about Detroit and wants to be able to help this city at the ground level understand exactly what it's capable of, not just in business, but also as it relates to the community that they're hoping to support. So it's been an awesome time. We're definitely going to try to make sure we get her on as well, because I think that the Pistons are finally putting both halves of it together. They've been winning off the court. Absolutely. I've covered the events. You've seen the stuff. I've been out to so many different park rededications, scholarship giveaways, and just different things. And even the players have started to do that themselves even more. Yeah. Now they're winning on the court too, and it's this thing is awesome. It's an awesome time to be a Pistons fan.
And you heard Cade talk about the community within here and how special it is. So them putting together winning on the court and then off the court, man, it truly makes this team special, and it's something that their chemistry, when it gets to that point, is going to be unmatched.
Ooh, I think that's off Portis. I think that's off Portis. That should be Pistons. They are reviewing this play right now. Coach is challenged by the Bucks to see if that was off Javonte Green. Portis was adamant that it was off Javonte, but the replay looked like Javonte might have been the one to touch it last.
Yeah, so he might have got it with that pinky. Not entirely sure.
If it's inconclusive, then it needs to go back to the Pistons.
Yep.
Because that was the call on the floor. But something I tweeted out before the game when the announcement of Jaden Ivey and Tobias Harris being back was that the return of both Jaden and Tobias, the Detroit Pistons are instantly looking like one of the deepest teams in the NBA. And when you see it from this perspective and this angle, it definitely looks like that. Absolutely. If this part of the bench can run like that, can ball like this is a pretty deep team. You're talking about now fourth quarters for K, where he should be, not necessarily rested, but he should be in a position, clearly off Portis.
Yeah.
Clearly off Portis.
That angle doesn't give me anything to see if Javonte's hand hit it, so.
Well, let's see who they gave it to. Oh, gave it back to the Bucks.
They gave it to the Bucks.
It went off the pinky. I didn't see anything conclusive.
I didn't see the ball change trajectory. That's what I was looking for, because that's a telltale sign, or like the finger movement.
But Portis was adamant, so I mean, they always are.
Yeah, players always. Players are always adamant when they disagree with the ref. Ooh, good finish.
Ooh, sometimes I feel like the photographers are too close under there.
I know.
But yeah, I think the Pistons are proving they're going to be a pretty deep team. This is a season where you usually don't see a lot of extreme growth in the course of a season. But this is a season where I do believe there are going to be some strategic points that you see the Pistons definitely get better at. Their chemistry is one thing.
Bucket over Miles Turner.
Too. He has to do that. You got a 5 on you, and your Tobias Harris, walk him down.
Absolutely.
Walk him down.
Not afraid of him at all. And
is that B-Ball Paul in there?
B-Ball Paul is in.
They
Tobias.
Are deep, bro.
And you know what? I looked it up, Kool-Aid. Do you want to guess where they're at in bench points per game right now?
Let's go, K. Let's go. That should be an and one. It's like he's mad, too. He hot. Talk to me, bro.
Where do you think the Pistons are? If you had to guess the range where they rank for bench points per game.
I would say one of the top, but I wonder how skewed that is with the games that Dennis started.
So they are actually 22nd in the NBA. They are near the bottom. So but that makes sense because a lot of their players had to step up and be starters.
Yep.
And obviously Cade and Duren have carried a bulk of the scoring load for the Pistons this season so far. And Duncan Robinson, I'll throw his name in there. So I think you're going to see this team climb in bench points per game a lot. Now that they're getting their depth back, now they're getting their pieces. We're going to see. Right now they already have 23, and they average 34 a game. They have 23 last the graphic came up, which was a couple minutes ago. So.
And they're going to call that on foul. They're going to call that foul on Cade. I knew it. Who's it, Rollins?
Cade's like, yeah, but what about the foul down there?
I think Cade thought that was a foul right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, same contact.
To me,
it's just Cade just didn't flop.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to be like, Cade just flop, but it's like, this is not who he is. He got to this point right now without doing any of that.
And he's too strong. It's not believable.
Well, Shea is that strong.
Yeah.
Or at least he should be.
He should be.
But that's why I'm just like, you know what? If our guy continues to be the one to get it without having to do all that, then fine. I don't care. I don't even care anymore, man. It just is what it is.
What about certainly played well, but I'm wondering now especially if they're going to start Tobias, B-Ball Paul's rotational minutes. That's a name we haven't talked about.
You can nip at it a little bit because you've just gotten a lot deeper on your front court now with Tobias Harris back and with
Miles Turner gets his first block, and Milwaukee takes it down the floor and scores.
44
Kuzma with the bucket there. It is a 6-point
Pistons are actually leading in blocks 2-1, and we saw Stewart get a couple of those nasty blocks right at the rim in the paint.
Milwaukee's on a run here. Karis LeVert back in.
I was about to say.
Cade going to the free throw line for the Pistons. I've noticed that, and this is obviously, something that you live with. But we saw it in that Atlanta game where the bench kind of pulled away, and then Cade came back in, and so they kind of had to readjust their offense. And Milwaukee kind of caught up, just like Atlanta kind of caught up. There is definitely a difference in Cade on the court versus off the court in terms of how this offense is run. And sometimes it takes this Piston team a little bit time to get that synergy back. They
were
rhythm.
playing different people too, though.
When
Cade's checking back in, you also see the Bucks are sending their starters back to there too. Yeah. So what you really want is that your starters are supposed to be ones that continue to hit body blows. Your bench is supposed to be the ones that can go out there and create the runs. Yeah. And then when you get into the third and fourth, where Cade is going to be looking more for his, is where you're looking for him to just absolutely demoralize a team. And so it's like, when you're looking at the offense, the Pistons' offense is going to have to be more sharp and intact. They're actually having to run half-court sets because they're playing against an offense that has the ability to knock down threes. When they knock down threes, now the Pistons are playing half-court offense. That's something that they were doing a lot less when the bench guys were in there because they're playing other bench guys and they were able to get the steals, get out in transition, and get out and run. And that's what you're going to need them to do is continue when they get those bench minutes to do those things, while the Pistons starters continue to strategize and go body blow for body blow, and then you'll see something break. I feel like this is one of them games where that midway through the third quarter, it's going to be noticeable like the Pistons are pulling away.
Absolutely. And you know what? Karis LeVert, great lob to Duren for the finish. That looked like that was actually going to be short. I think Tobias is laughing about
that. Look at him laugh,
because he was like, ooh, I almost sold him. But I will say that Karis LeVert, man, bad defensive play, makes up for it, gets an offensive bucket. That's my thing with Karis LeVert is that so far, and again, I know I've been hard on him, but I'm not actually judging him until he gets more time and rhythm to be with this team. But it seems like his stints are very much like that, where it's up and down. He'll have a turnover, then the next play he'll hit a three. Like he just is he's a bit of a roller coaster, much like B-Ball Paul was in the playoffs.
Erratic.
Yeah. It's been erratic. It's gotta be cleaned up. It's gotta be cleaned up. And if he cleans it up, I think he'll be a good player for the Pistons. I really do.
I do too. And it's not all bad points either. It's like he's had highs and then he's had some lows that make you scratch your head sometimes. But the highs make you go, okay, I see what JB Bickerstaff is at, and you see him trying. The effort's there. The problem is, if he's going to be one of those guys, as a Karis LeVert coming here, who we believe is going to fill one of those vet spots like a Tim Hardaway or Malik Beasley or so, you want to see him be somebody that is contributing across the board and not somebody who can go 3 or 4 possessions in a row.
Great pass.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Great play run.
With the two-hand dunk. 58, 48, 2:19 left in the half.
And that's a play of Cade working off Ivey. Ivey screened for Cade there. Duren got the ball, and it was just a nice finish.
And that's shout out. As long as the offense is flowing with Ivey in there, it doesn't matter if he's scoring or not. People do not need to look at the box score for Ivey in this game. They need to look at
the plus minus. Look at those.
Maybe not even. However the offense is flowing. Is he having turnovers? Is he making mistakes? Is he missing reads and things of that nature? So that's what I'm going to say.
Ivey with the that baby in a foul.
Ivey. Let's talk more about Jaden Ivey. Is that how that works? That's how that we talk about Ivey and he won legs. Dwayne Wade and one. Look how far back. Tell me this isn't Dwayne. Let's see if they get his highlight. Tell me that wasn't Dwayne Wade range.
Look at that. Boom. Clipped him a little bit and then
Jaden Ivey knocks down the and1 free throws. Shout out.
And you know what? This is a lineup we want to see.
Wait, hold on.
This is the lineup that we want to see.
Asar.
These 5 players on the court together.
Well, this is probably going to be your starting lineup at some point in the season.
Yeah. So
once Ivy gets his legs.
Did they blow his shot dead and then somebody hit a 3? It looks like.
Easy crying in his hands right now.
Yeah, I'm salty. Shut up.
I'm salty.
Weezy D313 got to be loving Jaden Ivey's return.
Yeah.
Weezy D, that's one of the things Weezy D313 and I have like been in lockstep with. We've been on the opposite side of things, been on the same side of things, but Ivy has been one of those ones where I've been like, you can't just trade this guy. I think he's dope, man.
Right on cue, he pops in the chat. That was one of the most beautiful plays I ever seen.
Oh, yeah, Weezy.
SMDs. Man,
Shout out Weezy, dog. He said, yeah, Xavier said, Weezy, your boy looking good. Yeah, I'm glad to see Jaden Ivey just looking like back to
Ivy for 3.
Let's go!
Oh, let's go.
Ivy having a quarter.
Go!
Hey, love to see it.
Not even a quarter, a minute. It's been a minute.
There.
Let's go. 65-52, so they ballooned the lead back up. Don't let Porter shoot.
That's a good look there.
Don't we have
Ivy
to
helping
get
out,
Portis-
getting the rebound, push it. Absolutely.
Let's go, Ivy.
Good find.
And makes the good.
Oh, my God. That would have been a nasty finish.
That would have been so crazy.
Ivy's speed ain't all the way back yet.
That was a Jars and a Lumi. Smoked that.
Yeah, thank you.
But shout out.
Thank you for that.
And Mad Packs. Shout out all our sponsors. But I can't be mad at that. That was a difficult
Throw
one.
that up. Throw that. I need Duncan Asar back. Is it just me?
Yeah.
I just want to see.
Does it feel like he's scared?
Floating?
I feel like, remember how hard we have been on Jalen Duren about, dude, you're bigger, stronger, faster than everybody. Just do that.
Yeah, go be a beast.
Asar is a one-of-one athlete. Like, well, I'll say one of two because he's got a brother. But he is such a special athlete. I think he has to learn to just sometimes use his athleticism a bit more.
Up top or Ivy?
That's Toby.
That's Toby? Yeah, that is Toby.
That was a good move.
All day. That was a good move all day. Shout out. Pistons up 67-52.
Yeah, the starters got going a little bit.
Yep.
I thought we would see this type of burst in the third. They just got going. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like boxing with these dudes, and it's like they're figuring things out. Yeah, I was about to say, they better not call nothing on that. Asar was just standing straight up.
And that's a dunk.
It is not your fault. It's not Asar's fault that you just ran into him and fell down.
Dude, he has been like just physically a menace for Milwaukee.
You know what I've liked about K's defense? Pistons go into the second half up 69-52. And you know what?
On pace for 138 points.
And on pace to give up what? Another 26-point quarter. That's great defense, dog. They were literally on pace to only give up 104. But they've increased their scoring pace. They were on pace for 130. These boys going to hit 140. They won't hit that, but still.
Do you know what we want to see? Like when you talk about the athleticism from Asar and being able to use it, we see Ron Holland use his athleticism. We see him use his explosiveness. We want to see that same type of explosiveness and showcase of athleticism that Asar should be bringing as well. Like you should be matching that type of intensity when you're on the floor with these guys.
And I think that's what I mean, though. I think that by at least the trends I've recognized and I've seen, post All-Star break, this is going to look like a well-oiled machine type of a team. Think about how much better they look when Dennis Schroeder got here.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a squad that has a lot more good players, a lot more physical players. I thought that the Pistons, when they were playing the Knicks, were lacking. Like, if they went to the next round, I thought that they were lacking what they have this year, and it's that depth. Like, they have players that are stepping out there that know their roles. They got players that are stepping out there, and they're going to strap up on defense, all of them. Like, and it doesn't matter their proficiency because they're going to try harder than everybody else. So if there's a loose ball, they're on the floor. How many times have we already seen it here? We've already seen them. How many times take the ball just from the other team and go down? One of the things I love about Cade's maturation on defense, and somebody was showing the different types of steals he's getting this year. Cade is just literally like a guard will try to do a little hezzy and come around him. Cade is just literally taking it from in front of the guard. Like, he squares up and just takes it from him and then goes down the other end. He's done this like I think somebody counted like 6 or 7 times already to start the season. Just straight up man to man. Not like I steal it and go, because he's done that as well. Like, this team is just playing differently, fundamentally sound, and they know where to be on the court. Remember where they were when they were going through 1, 2, and now they're on their third coach, but those first two coaches didn't necessarily have them right defensively. Absolutely. Now you're looking at this squad, and it's like they just have things figured out. They look like the second best team in the NBA defensive rating wise. Oh, they are.
Yeah, they are the second best team. The only team they're behind is the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were the defending NBA champions.
Dude,
right now.
people are calling Pistons OKC East Light.
Yeah, I had that argument, dude. OKC is just another monster, man. They really are.
But you know what they have, Chris. It's similar to the Pistons in the aspect of they built it through the draft, but you know what? That team, they took a loss in the playoffs, and they learned how to respond. Mm-hmm. The Pistons are now learning that loss to the Knicks in the playoffs, that was accounted for three things. There was no Isaiah Stewart, your best defensive player at that moment.
I got something for
against the person who really was a real thorn in the side from the outside perspective, and Cat that whole entire series, because you had Jalen Duren out in the wing trying to guard Cat, or you had Tobias who, he held his own, but it's still, you would have loved to have Isaiah Stewart in that position.
But what's been one of the biggest developments this season so far?
Jalen Duren.
Jalen Duren, not only defensively but offensively, being able to do everything. He does everything at every level.
But what
he passes, he scores, and he defends.
But what did you say tripped him up in the playoffs?
Jalen Duren?
No. Just the Pistons in general.
Oh, they did.
You said they got injured.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
People, what do people say? What do they say? If we had Isaiah Stewart, we would have won. Cade said that.
I believe that.
If we had Ivy.
But hold on. But what have they done this year to start the season? What are we not talking about being a reason why they have not been able to have the start they have? Yeah. Injuries.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. They're a deep team who've added so much more character, so much more oomph to their squad, that if Isaiah Stewart, if this team, from what I'm seeing, if this version of the Pistons was missing Isaiah Stewart last year, I think they win the series last year.
Right.
Last year's team, I thought they were just scraping the surface. They saw what they had. This version of them, they are a little bit nastier, in my opinion. I believe that Dennis Jenkins right now is proven to be something. I think he's going to prove to be better in the second half of this season than Dennis Schroeder was for the Pistons. Just me.
I really see the
better
Dennis Schroeder
during this year.
I see the Dennis Schroeder role as more of, because we got Dennis Schroeder because we didn't have Jaden Ivey.
Yep.
That was the huge thing. We need someone else alongside Cade to take away, some of those point guard minutes where, he's bringing the ball up the court. So that's why Dennis Schroeder was, brought into Detroit. But now you have Ivy back. Ivy is going to be so crucial into, fulfilling that role.
We got 147 people in here, man. Smash the like button.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff.
And there's going to be two things that I feel like also is the development from not only Jalen Duren to being an all-star level player, but also Cade Cunningham. And he talked about it when he was talking with Kevin Durant. He was kind of timid that first game. He didn't really know, he was trying to figure things out. He didn't know when to be aggressive. This season we really see Cade flip a switch when it needs to be, when that flip of the switch is needed, he just goes into attack mode, is basically unstoppable.
Yeah, and
those are the things that I feel like kind of like, as well as Isaiah Stewart missing, was those two now furthering development. That's going to lead the Pistons to, getting their first playoff win.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, I've cried out for. It's like you saw a lot of the other young teams that were taking that next step and that leap. It was because the young players were leading the charge. The young players had taken that next step and that next leap. When you say Orlando, you don't talk about what vets they have and don't have. You just simply talk about Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. That is it. Before the Rockets went out and traded for KD, you just simply talked about all of the young drafted talent. Yep. Like that's the whole point. Like Alperen Sengun became an all-star. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Now you're looking at the Pistons, and their young drafted talent has taken some serious leaps. People are saying if this is the trajectory, Jalen Duren will be an all-star. You're talking about 2 all-stars this year. It should be something that I'm hoping is a goal of his, not from a standpoint of personal, just what I want for me, but what it means you've been doing on the court.
Yeah.
What it means your team has been doing too, because they have changed this now. We know Cade's been worthy. We know the type of skill set he's put out there on display, but winning is what gets you recognized. He couldn't even win Rookie of the Year even as the best rookie. Putting up stats only Michael Jordan did simply because his team wasn't winning, which is funny because a rookie goes generally to a bad team.
Right.
But what we're seeing right now is a little bit of coaching, a little bit of elbow grease,
we live in a different time.
Some nasty boys, and you see this team being one of the best in the NBA, man. And I want to get into the box score before they get back here.
Yeah.
I want to get into the box score, and I want to be able to get who's your player at the half as well, Platte.
How many players have played?
Everybody but Chaz Lanier.
Yep. Everybody but Chaz.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players off the bench.
And you hate to see it because what did Chaz do last game besides go out there and do everything you expected him to do and knock down big shots? But now he gets himself pushed out of the rotation, and you know what? You can't say anything,
like he's
but
gonna get minutes tonight.
You literally cannot say anything but like, hey, like
this is
team
amazing.
Is still balling.
That he's finding ways to get people in there, and I'm glad to see that it's not like these players are lost if plays aren't being called or if half court sets aren't being going through. No, the bench is going out there and they're doing their thing, man. Tonight you look at the bench. The bench already has 3 players that have 7 points. Isaiah Stewart has 7 points. Javonte Green has 7 points. Dennis Jenkins has 7 points. Jaden Ivey has 5 points, man. Like, that's what they're doing now. They got, about 27 points, I believe, off the bench tonight. You got 2 from Karis LeVert. Like I said, the 5 from Jaden Ivey. And then in your starters, you got Tobias Harris with his 6. Duncan Robinson with 6. He had a couple threes. It feels like Duncan should have more than that, but he's been very, very active, and he's 2 of 2 on the night. So shout out to him with 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. He's been very active. Jalen Duren, Jeff's big homie, 8 points, 4 of 6 on the night, which is big because the Pistons shot 66% from the floor in the first half of this game. 66 blistering field goal percentages, man. Cade Cunningham, 15 points, 5 of 7 from the floor, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, 3 of 3 free throw, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Can we call that a triple-double watch, my brothers?
It's another triple-double watch.
Did we admit, like,
now,
he just snuck up on this efficient game?
So last time we called that, he had 6 rebounds.
All right.
And he ended the game with 6 rebounds.
Bro.
So let's not jinx it. Let's not jinx it, all right?
But what I love, though, is that the Pistons in that second half also changed the rebound battle. In that first half, it wasn't what it needed to be. And what did we see? Stewart and Duren in, like, those last however many minutes, they didn't allow, like, an offensive rebound to the opposing team.
Yep.
So it was really them stepping up and saying, hey, Cade, thank you for holding us down in the first half, but we got you in the second half. If it's that, then cool. If it was like Cade's rebounds disappeared and then the Pistons rebounding disappeared, I'd be a little bit more concerned. But you're right. If it's because they're stealing the rebounds because they're trying to make sure stuff is secure,
just some other guys stepped up. That's all.
Yeah, that's how I would call it. Hey, Asar Thompson, that was your guy. Played 13 minutes. That was second most because you got 16 with Cade. Cade played 16 minutes. Wow, that's a lot of minutes. 14 apiece for Duncan and Jalen, and then 13 for Asar. He was 3 of 5 from the floor, man. 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 steals, 1 block, and a plus 10 on the night, which is third best on the night. Tobias Harris is a plus 14 best on the night, followed by Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, who are plus 13s, and then Asar Thompson. So the starters are the ones that actually have the better plus minuses.
I mean,
isn't that the end of the second quarter is what really pushed things for them, and I thought we would have gotten that type of run and play out of them in the third. But that's what they're going to have to do. Last year, the third quarter was an Achilles heel of theirs.
Yes.
And it put, I believe, too much pressure on a Cade Cunningham in the fourth quarter to the point that we can call out we even know when they're going to do the substitution patterns in the fourth quarter. We call it out, 7 minute, 4 minute. And it was so many times when they had to bring Cade Cunningham in early simply because they got off to a bad start in the third, and then they're playing basically, they're volleying back and forth in the fourth quarter. Now you're getting late. And each possession, as you get closer and closer, becomes that much more important. Absolutely. So it's like now you got a squad, though, that you could trust. Hey, Cade Cunningham can go out there and get some rest. These guys are not going to let the ship sink. And what does that allow? That allows for your starters to come back in, take a couple punches, and when the Bucks falter, like we saw at the end of that second quarter, the Pistons went on a run with their starters who actually lead the game in plus minus, which if I was just blindfolded, I would have told you the bench was leading in plus minus. That might also be due to the fact that you played a few more bench players than starters. When you got 7 players and you're splitting up those minutes, that stuff can happen. But it shows that all of those bench players have been productive. The only one off the bench without a positive plus minus, do you guys want to guess?
Ron Holland.
Who has the negative plus minuses on the team tonight?
Karis LeVert.
Yes. That's one.
That was just from the heart. How many?
Is Ron one?
There's only two. Karis was one.
Karis was one.
Ron is not one. Ron is actually plus 6 on the night.
Okay.
B-ball
cool.
Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Though.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
That's fine.
Yeah. He was catching some downhill action from Mr. LeVert. So hopefully we see a little bit better from Karis LeVert. He did some good things. You know, like it's just his highs and lows. But Platte, talk to me about this thing. Second half is gonna get going soon. Who's your player of the half, and what are you looking forward to in this second half?
Player of the half for me, I really think it has to be Cade. And I know that's a boring answer, but Cade is just, I love that he is playing within, like so within the structure. It's so organized. It's so clean. You love to see that from Cade Cunningham. And, you know, you could go with anybody to be the player of the half, really, because as you read off those box scores, so many players are involved. And it feels like kind of like an equal night for a lot of people. But, you know, it always starts with Cade Cunningham. And to me, I think he's just been awesome to watch him turn to this, you know, really efficient team leader.
Yeah.
After all that negative, terrible labeling and misbranding that they tried to do with Cade Cunningham, labeling him as this inefficient guy, which he has his inefficient moments. But to see Cade doing what he's doing tonight, just playing within himself, picking his spots so smart, I would give it to Cade.
And you know what? I don't think that that's the wrong answer. He really, really, really stepped up in that second quarter even more. But the first quarter, he was probing. You look at the shots that Duncan was hitting, and it was off of gravity and movement and assisting from Cade Cunningham. And then Cade just stepped up the pedal. And I'm glad that you decided to highlight his efficiency, because you're talking about 7 assists to only 1 turnover. You're talking about 2 stocks already. That's another steal and another block for Cade. And then you put that again with 3 of 3 free throws, 2 or 3 from behind the arc, 5 or 7 from the floor. This is Cade Cunningham going out there not needing a lot to go out there and get a whole lot. 15 points. You know, you're talking about the pace he's on. This guy's going to have an opportunity to go out there and put up a good 30 or even potentially 40 burger. Yeah, because these are the quarters we starts to probe. Yeah. You look at who's your best fourth quarter scorer in NBA. That's Cade Cunningham.
Absolutely.
So now he's in a position where he goes out there and he has 1 10-point quarter, and it's going to be tough for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I do believe this is where you want to see him start to get going. Superstar Cade, 5 consecutive 25-point, 10-assist games, including 46-point triple-double. That is the most in franchise history. And Duran's All-Star play, this is FanDuel Sports putting it up, 5th player since the NBA-ABA merger to achieve 30 points, 15 rebounds with 90% field goal percentage in a game. Jeff, I see you over there. You got to put your face on the screen real quick.
Come on, man.
Look at
Come on, man. Jalen Duren is balling, man. And you know what? It comes to a point where you kind of look at, you know, the scape of things, especially in the Eastern Conference. What big man out there in the Eastern Conference is really playing better than Jalen Duren right now, besides maybe Cat, because we don't have Brunson, so he's basically taking up most of the usage. But other than that, I mean, Jalen Duren. You just look at the Eastern Conference, and you give me a player that you think is playing better than Jalen Duren right now from that center spot, from that big man spot.
But look, that's the thing. We talked about this with Cade and how Jalen Duren's doing it. I told y'all Cade is going to make conversations uncomfortable, and y'all who've been tapped in with Woodward Pistons knows that. I didn't give a frick. That was the one I said, I don't care what any of y'all say. I know Cade's going to be a superstar. I know this is just from ball. This ain't got nothing to do about like fanboy or anything. This is just from watching his tape. I was like, if the Pistons don't take Cade, dog, like you'll go back and rewind it, like you'll see, like he's a straight up baller. Now you see Jalen Duren stepping into that too.
And you know what? People, you know, they say, oh, you know, you're a homer and oh, you're that. Listen, Cade he's starting to get that recognition from across the whole NBA.
You know what
all fan bases know who Cade Cunningham is.
You know what I like about Cade? He's doing this more and more. Like when they asked him at All-Star, you know, who's going to be the face of the league, and he was like, can I say me? Yeah. He was in another one where they asked him, like, yo, who would be like the best 5, you know? He said, well, if I don't say me, then Steph Curry. Did you see that one? It was funny, dog. Like Steph, Mike, Kobe, Shaq. I'm like, If you don't say you, I'm like, yo, I love this energy that we get from Deuce to Cade Cunningham of the Detroit Pistons because that's what you need.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Absolutely.
Cade at the free
throws.
Has a chance to push this 220, 72-54, 11-12 left in the third quarter. This is what I want to see him come out aggressive in that third quarter. So I tell y'all, like,
close out.
Look at that.
This is the quarter that you want to see him go out there and really, maybe he could push this thing to a 25, maybe 30 points.
This is the quarter you want to see them put him away.
Yeah.
Put the dog down, okay?
So that the fourth quarter is them just expanding that lead again, you know, because there's going to be runs rather than them having to be in like a volleying standpoint with this team. You don't want to be in that or trade.
You don't want to be in that dog. You don't want to be in that dog fight right now.
Right there, especially on the road. You're right. You're right. When you got a game like this, because the Pistons do not have very many home games. I'm so glad you called that out. What's been one of the worst things to happen to the Pistons over the last, like, 20 years? Road trips. Absolutely have decimated any progress or chemistry, but this is going to be crucial for them. Pick up every road game you can and make it easy on yourselves. They play how many players tonight? Because they know that they're on a road trip. Let Cade sit down early. Let him get his 40-piece and then go sit down.
I don't think he's getting 40, brother.
He did it.
I think he's just gonna
what'd they
defer
call?
and take it easy tonight.
What'd they call? What was that?
Maybe they called it travel.
How? The ball got smacked out of his hands.
I like that JB's not even arguing it. Those types of plays.
He's like, we're up 20. I ain't gonna argue.
I'm for those are ones you just go back with Duran in the lab and you just. If it was a foul, then yeah, you argue it. But.
I didn't really see what happened.
All right, you can't give up these second chance points.
Yep.
This is how the Bucks are going to thrive without a Giannis. Is when they miss because Pistons are playing initially good defense. They're crashing the boards. You saw it was 3 or 4 different Bucks players in there in the paint.
Tobias,
there we go.
Through.
You're gonna need it.
Both the guys return have looked well tonight, and that's a great sign because you expect some rust. You expect some rust, and for them to both Ivy and Tobias to come in and be clean, that's huge for this team.
Not expect, Chris.
For a franchise
you
record.
need rest.
Yeah.
You need rest. You know, I know we talk about load management. You know, obviously it's it's a new concept, but
Come on,
get these guys
on, dog. Jalen Duran
pass.
Against Miles Turner.
Yep.
And I was just, my shoulder into your chest. Get out of my way. I got a layup to make, bro.
Kool-Aid.
I love that.
Is
dog.
that not good on good?
But it was patient too.
Is that not Jalen Duran against one of the better elite rim protectors that are in the NBA?
Move, Jalen Duran. Just give me some pet moves, man, when you get it down there. Because how often he's going to have the ball in the paint? How many opportunities? A whole lot. And if he can do simple things like that even, let's rock. Hey, boy.
Cade saw there was no Miles Turner.
They're giving me my third quarter run. Let's rock. 81-56. They do push it up to 26-point lead or 25-point lead here. They balloon that thing, man. The starters plus minus is going to be insane in this game.
Look at that.
And it should have been an and one.
It should have been an and one. Going right at who?
Mr. Don't be that team. Mr. At this point, it's just don't be that team. All right, Kyle. We found you. We found you.
Hey,
you thought you could run from the Wizards.
Yeah, funny to say that and then go join that team.
Shoot. We found you, Mr. Kyle Kuzma. And you know what? I get it. He wanted to come home. Pistons didn't bring him home. Yeah. Ooh, that's your fault, bro. Stop talking out your mouth.
You know, I seen some little Michigan banter coming up recently in social media between Draymond Green and Kenyon Martin.
I need to watch it.
Yeah.
I heard Kenyon said something about him, and then Draymond said something back.
They're going back and forth right now.
You talking about
two Michigan natives.
Two Michigan
from the same city.
Yeah, from Sag Nasty. Because Kenyon Martin died from there. Yeah.
94 likes. Come on, chat. Let's get to 100. We got 100.
We really need to get to 100.
171 people.
Like, I don't think they understand.
Needs to smash that like button.
Yeah, bro. Like, the more likes you guys put on this, the more you can get this stream boosted into the algorithm of sad New York Knicks fans right now.
Yes.
All of the chirping from people like them. We're the Hornets fans. Yeah. Where's the Meadows better than y'all crazy? Where are those guys? Let's push this stream in there. Knicks fans, Hornets fans, where y'all at? Let's make sure that this stream gets out there for at least
they might be in trouble, Kool-Aid.
We like other people.
It sounds like their guy wants out of there now.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't
All
think
these
that's a bad
guards
move
that
for
Cade.
Charlotte. I'm just saying that.
Look, all these guards that Cade is passing, right?
Yeah.
Every year. Now watch. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Trae Young, Ja Morant, LaMelo Ball at the trade deadline. It's gonna be all these rumors all the time.
Yep.
You know who is just playing ball? Ethical
Not
hoops.
Cade.
You don't hear nothing.
Don't even got to worry about it.
Don't have to worry about it. He's
Matter of
passed.
fact- matter of
These are
fact, y'all
all-star
doing all that-
guards, though, guys. Like, that's what I'm saying. Guards who've made the playoffs. Also, he's passing these guys. There was a time where you wouldn't have been able to tell anybody that Cade was going to pass Ja Morant up.
Yeah.
People would say you're crazy. Even if they liked Cade, they would say you're crazy. And it's not that he passed him up because Ja Morant just went back. Cade is putting up dummy numbers right now.
Let's be honest. Ja Morant got in his own way. So that's
Cade was
something
gonna
to
pass
do.
him anyway.
That's
Cade was
something.
gonna pass him.
That's something to do
But
on
you're
him
right.
anyway. You know what I mean? Cade was definitely going to pass him anyway, especially when you talk about point guard. Cade's a complete point guard.
Hey, my guy from Rap 920 is about to join the chat. I gotta get y'all linked up.
There
Actually,
we go.
Yeah.
He
There we
said
go, chat.
courtside. He was courtside of Atlanta in Pistons. He was tweeting at us and all that type of stuff that night.
Shout out.
Shout out to him, man. I gotta get him on the pod. He said we're gonna do some collaborations, and I gotta get y'all on the pod.
Cade
just
tried
for
to
music
meet
stuff.
Bobby. Looks like he got Bobby in the no-nos because he is limping back.
Yeah, they defending Cade full court.
Pull that.
Duncan was wide open. Pull that. Thank you. Take advantage of it. Call your timeout now, Doc. We ain't calling a timeout for you. Dog, hold on. Hold on, bro. Bobby is doing too much right now. My man is writhing in pain right now like his family guy. All he needs to do is just grab his knee.
Let's see it.
Oh yeah, that.
He got Draymond,
Might have
but
been-
my
might have
thing
been a
is
little
this.
bit.
Watch. So he runs all the way back down the court.
That's crazy though.
Look at him. He's still like, come on, bro.
That's crazy.
He's still down. This is serious.
Because you know what's crazy? Because
Hey.
if you really do get hit in that spot, you're not moving.
That's
You're
what I'm
not
saying. You
moving.
ran out of court.
That's
now
that's
You're
the
not
weird
moving.
part
You're
about
going
it.
down.
'Cause I want to give
on, dog.
I want to give sympathy to a man like when that happens.
Bro, it's
that's tough.
84-58. He's tired. That's
yeah.
what's happening right now. He is tired. No.
He
get
missed a
you, though.
couple threes. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like, this is a night for me. This is a night for me. He just got kicked in the balls. It's over
He's
for
like,
him.
man, we down.
He's
we
like,
down.
I let it all
he's
go
like-
in the first
He's
quarter,
like, man,
dog.
we down
I got
25,
my average. I'm
man.
good,
Come
man.
on,
I'm good, man. Give me up out of here. These boys are something else.
Look, man.
They're here
As
whooping
the
on
OG in the room, I know that look on his face. He's like, I'm tired. Coach, I'm injured, dog. Goodness gracious.
You tell me the nasty boys injured by horses' balls.
Platte, dog. I love Platte, man.
Smash the like button. We're gonna crack this
Oh.
Sun Cruiser. Shout out Sun Cruiser.
Oh, golly, dog. Oh, dog. Shout out to the chat, too, man. Y'all are amazing. I'll see y'all. We got to that first light goal, man. Let's get this up as high as we can go.
Yeah, let's go.
I really want this to get out there for New York fans, Atlanta Hawks fans, Orlando Magic fans. Like, they're going to have to do something at the end of the season once the Pistons pass them up. I don't even care about Philly no more. Like, do they even matter anymore?
This is so fun. Cool. Like, we have to just sit back, the three of us, and look at. We are a part of this team chasing history, chasing franchise history. Cade could be the one when it's all said and done to have to go through the worst losing streak in franchise history and the best winning streak, man.
Not only
That's
that,
a complete story, man. Shout out to Cade Cunningham, dude.
but
this
we
is
talk
great.
about just, we have Cade locked up and we know he's going to be a Piston. Man, further cementing himself into the Detroit, legacy of being, a legend, especially for the Pistons. Obviously this is our best player since, ability-wise since Grant Hill. But, what Cade can accomplish and go on to accomplish that's where we want to see
There it
him
is,
go
right
on to
there.
accomplish more than what Isaiah Thomas did. Win more championships.
Well, what did
Get
Cade do?
MVP.
He walked in. He was like, "Oh, all these all-star
know what?
things, he
Yeah.
got the most of these." Zeke, you saw him look back like, "I love you, I respect you,
But I
and
gotta
my
go get
job
that.
is to take this further."
I got to go get that.
Gotta go get that.
I got to surpass it. And that's, that ain't nothing but a little bit of healthy competition there. That's all that is.
So they just showed us.
Chuck Daddy's 2 out the rafters, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
Before he stepped foot on the court.
It's still in the rafters.
Before he stepped foot on the court.
He's playing with a jersey that's still in the rafters. You got to win. Like, that's what he did. Yeah. He stepped in and he said, look, this is what's going to happen. And I love that. I love that he went and asked for a jersey that harkens back to the Bad Boys era.
Yeah.
I love that.
And speaking of Bad Boys era, that longest streak, so that you saw it there's 11, which is what the Pistons are currently on. Tonight they can tie the second, which is 12, and then they did 13 twice, the third. And the 12 and the 13 were in the same season, 89-90. And you want to know the crazy thing, Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
Is that there was one game dropped, and then they rattled off the 13.
Yep.
They rattled off the 12. They dropped a game in February, and then they rattled off another 13. So that means at one point they won 25 of 26 games. God damn.
That's a lot of winning.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of winning. But you know what? That's what it takes if you want to be great in this league. You can't just have consistent, spurts where you lose, 3-4 games in a row. Like you have to. Oh. You know what? They've been pretty chippy. Those two have the whole game between Asar and Ryan.
Be too if I got put in jail like that.
Yeah.
If a grown man did to me what Asar is doing to him,
say, get me out of Alcatraz.
Is it because it's a blow to the head? Like what exactly?
Yeah.
It's not a challenge. It's an official review, so it's going to be a foul nonetheless. It's probably just that they're going to upgrade it.
And I don't think they should. That seemed pretty inadvertent, in my opinion. So I wouldn't.
It's a level of chippiness, though. If they want to get it under control, they're gonna raise it.
That's true. Yeah,
he's been involved in too much.
I'm telling you, they've been going back and forth.
He probably will not get the benefit of the doubt.
Nah, not this team. Absolutely not. This.
Well, let's see if he's taking free throws.
Listen, we know what it is. Okay, this team has that reputation. They have that. Everybody in the league know. The ref knows. They have this mentality. So, when it comes to plays like this where it's, it could go either way, it's going to go against the Pistons every single time. That's just based off reputation.
Shout out. Pistons get the ball back. 84-58. Feeling good.
8:23 in the third.
Look, he's closing his eyes, Chris. He's like, I can't believe.
Guys, like, get this over with.
Smack that. Knock down Toby.
Insult to injury.
Them, man.
Comeback crew. He's been awesome.
He don't want to get traded.
I want to see more. Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I mean, do you want Anthony Davis or do you want Toby?
He's heard my Lori talk. He don't want to get traded.
He said Lori who?
I like, when I was like, Toby is good on me.
You're like, calm down.
It was in the playoffs when he was going absolutely ham, man.
Yeah.
And then there was another time to start this season where I saw it again. Where against the Knicks, he was yelling. He was in people's faces. He was playing gritty. Yeah. He was backing all the way down, and instead of doing a little turning, he was like, no, I'm going to turn and go over top of you for the layups. And then against Paolo Banchero this year, when Weston was like, you owed, and all this other stuff, and then Tobias just absolutely went in. I'm sorry. That version of Tobias, whatever we saw in the playoffs and whatever we saw against Paolo, that's the version I think is going to be better than a lot of these players they could go out there and trade for.
First points for Miles Turner tonight, too.
They've done a great job on him.
Third quarter.
And they've slowed Bobby Portis way down.
Way down to the point where he had to walk down almost full court.
Damn.
Okay, just get back on D. Get back on D, bro. Get back on defense. They stripped him first, and they got the block. It looked like it was some contact, but he's not going to get that.
Oh, Duran, I thought he was going to time that.
Miles Turner's getting going. It's like another bucket from the three. He drove where? From the three-point line.
Yeah.
But notice that they're putting Tobias on him, much like they did with Cat.
Duncan.
Let's go.
When this team hits threes, too, they're just I'm going to say it, they're unbeatable when they hit threes. Because you know what they do in the paint.
I was going to say earlier, we saw Malik Beasley have his best year shooting the 3-ball, and now who do we see off to a crazy start? Duncan Robinson. I think it might be a Cade thing.
I think not.
I think it might be a Cade thing.
Hey, listen. Hey, when you can come off that screen and get that ball put directly right into your shooter's pocket, you don't have no excuse but to have this type of shooting performance.
just
Cole
me, or
Anthony's
does it
in.
look
Get this
like the
guy off
Bucks
the
are
floor.
making shots? But every time I look at the score, it's like larger lead for the Pistons. It's 90-63.
Because they make a shot and then the Pistons
frick
come
is
down
going
and
on?
answer
It's
right away.
92-63. 6:49 left in the third quarter. Duncan, just shoot it. Just shoot it.
Honestly, take that. Oh, good pass.
Oh.
Two players on Duran. It doesn't. He smoked the layup.
Duran.
Shout out Lou.
Shout out Lou. Shout out Jar. Shout out Mad Packs.
Yes, sir.
Isaiah with the block.
That's 3 on the night for him. Isaiah Stewart is just.
Oh, Cade, that was yours.
That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, that was
That was
his.
a bad one.
That was his. Get it back.
Good defense. Good defense.
all
Good
Bobby
defense.
Portis
Good
back.
defense. No, Duncan.
That's
No,
all.
I knew it.
Just
You gotta get out there a little bit faster. A
little bit.
faster. He's shooting that. So that's 7 points for Miles Turner in the last 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8 points, actually.
Oh, that Miles Turner has spurred this run then, right?
Yeah. Yep. 8 and 3. So he's had all their points.
Unfortunately, because I'm going against him in
Let's
fantasy.
go. Let's go. And one. Another patient pet post move for Jalen Duren. Another one.
Hey.
Against who? Miles Turner.
And you know what's so
Hey, can we
crazy?
say it again? That's good on good. All-star.
Let's go.
Yep.
That's good on good. All-star.
You know what I liked? When he did the spin move and what's his name took the left arm from him, look how strong he still stayed with the follow through on the layup.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what I like. That's how you know he was in a weight room. Can you make that move? Yes. But there's a lot of times you see these guys don't get that call. For him to still finish straight through that and honestly finish it with his left hand, Duren been putting in some work.
I will say the thing about Duren that's been so fascinating is just his footwork in the post, his patience, like you've highlighted numerous times. Because remember, Kool-Aid, all I wanted from him, and I thought he was unstoppable if he even added this, the Isaiah Hartenstein push shot as like a short roller.
Yeah.
Oh man, if he adds that to his also just raw athleticism and great finishing around the rim, dude, he is gonna be a monster.
But what is he?
I don't ever want to see Jalen Duren on the 3-point line unless he's setting a screen. Like, get that man.
Hold on, Chris. Hold on.
No,
now,
get that
that's
man.
a part
You
of the
got Stu. You're
process of
good.
development now, okay?
You're good, man.
Remember what I told you. If a player has good free throw, that means that he can have a good shot.
I hear you.
Jalen Duren has a good free throw. and that's why you see
At
that midi
31
is starting to really
brothers
look
start shooting
good.
threes. But when you're in your 20s and you're this force of nature, and you're this demigod.
Yeah, I do hear you.
Yeah.
More of like if it happens to be like, a point where he can shoot it, okay.
Yeah. No, obviously you take.
But yeah,
that,
of course we want him in the paint, yeah. Look at that. Cade. Ooh.
Cade knows he's about to be out for the rest
Oh.
of it. Cade knows he's about to get called and he's about to sit this fourth quarter, so he's trying to get those buckets before he has to get out.
And you know what, the Bucks, they do, slightly, I guess, close the gap. 24 points. It was on the verge of becoming a 30-point lead for the Pistons. 93-69, 4:55 left in the third quarter. This
Jaden
is
Duren, please pile on
awesome.
the points. I need it for fantasy.
Jaden
Look
Ivey.
at that. Back on the court, Jaden Ivey.
Let's go.
This should
I
be
was
his
wondering
quarter
where
to close out.
I was wondering where he was going to be. He checked in about the 5 minute of the first quarter too. So
Good defense.
This seems
Good
to be his
defense.
plan.
Good defense. Come on. They still get the three. Miles Turner has been balling in
That's
this quarter.
11 for them this quarter.
They rotated well,
That's all
but
their
Miles
points this
Turner's
quarter,
just been
right?
a little bit better. Good. Jaden Ivey.
yeah, got to get that pass in clean.
Yeah, he has 11 he's 11 all of their last points on this run. They're all Miles Turner.
So it's been Miles Turner and Bobby Portis to really float a lot of what the Bucks have done in the first quarter and in the third quarter.
Careless LeVert with
Harris.
the turnover. Careless LeVert.
He's
as
been the
chat
one
has been
tonight,
called.
man.
Might
He's
have to
been the
pull
one.
him.
I almost feel like if you just put a Chaz Lanier out there, like, do we need
Yeah.
another ball handler, like another facilitator with Ivy and
Look,
Cade?
you're making Chris itch.
I would just put Chaz out there and
that's
just
what I
go
said
sit
with-
somewhere.
That's why I said with Karis LeVert is that I don't think you need that shot creation that he brings. I think you have enough of that.
I'd do it with
especially
Dennis
now,
off the
especially now
bench.
that Jenkins is here. Like,
I would pair him with a Jenkins because you always need a secondary facilitator.
yeah,
I just don't know why you need a tertiary one. You got Ivy
Yeah.
and Cade on the court already.
I would replace that with somebody like, if you have somebody like a Beasley that's just running around firing threes
That's what
with
I'm saying.
those
I would
guys.
just try Chaz for a little
love
bit.
it.
He's proven that he knows that role.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And he's not scared to defend either. So, I mean,
He's not afraid to mix it up, man.
yeah.
I mean, I get it, though. Like, I want to be fair to the fact that there's something that J.B. Bickerstaff said he saw in Karis LeVert. He did coach him before, and he's willing to do everything needed. And there are little things to each game, but so far tonight, you know, the plus-minus speaks for itself.
Hasn't looked
and
good
some
either.
of the plays that we've seen, it's just like, whew. You know, I'm hoping he gets it together. I really, really, really do. I know defensively we probably missed some things that he brings to the table as well because it's easy to miss those. But when you know that there's also like a Ron Holland sitting over there, it gets a little.
When you know there's some
Chaz
dogs sitting over there, it's like, dang,
we
you
like
really
the
got to keep going
Javonte
through
Green
this.
minutes. Yeah.
But like you said, Kool-Aid, that's just to bring up like the Pistons' depth. That's what it is, though. If you're not playing well, now we're looking at the bench like, okay, well, he's a better option right now.
Detroit, sorry to cut you off. Detroit fans traveling, by the way. Man,
Front
that's
row.
the thing I love about Detroit, man, is everybody, no matter what, you see it with the Lions.
Yep.
I know this is a football town, but this is a sports town. Like, when the Pistons are good, they're everywhere. When the Red Wings are good, they're everywhere. When the Tigers are good, they're everywhere. Like, it's so dope to see.
And
man.
they got, in my opinion, some likable players and likable stars. Some people who you can really appreciate what they bring to the sport that they play. And that's what I think people love. People love who Jahmyr Gibbs is, you know, with the Lions. They love who Amon-Ra St. Brown is. You know, they tapped into the podcast clearly. People love who Cade Cunningham is as a basketball player and Jalen Duren. I think that's what ultimately makes it even that much more fun is that you can believe in the people.
Ivy driving to the bucket, finds Karis LeVert for three.
There we
It's
go.
through.
Okay,
Count that
Karis.
and a foul. Karis LeVert.
All right. Hold
Good
on,
and
wait a minute.
bad.
He heard us talking.
I just
Now
saw
he's
him say, like,
just
F y'all.
smiling.
Did you see him? Like, I see you guys.
Say,
over there.
Kool-Aid, I see you talking about me.
No, that's what we're going to do.
It's all right,
Yeah.
man. Get that.
You know,
trade
like, I
value up.
want to
Hey,
be the
if it let it
biggest
spark him, okay.
cheerleader of Mr. Go Blue Karis LeVert. I want to. Trust me, I want to. But this team has been down for so long, and now we are in a position where we hold, some
This is a free throw, though. Bump. No.
some love for this team. But it's our job to make sure that we call it how we see it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Gotta
know,
keep
like
it real.
I'm hoping that he would respect the fact that we're like, hey, we hope you can step your game up because
gotta
you're
keep it
somebody
real.
that JB Bickerstaff is going to depend on. If he's going to get the minutes, then we want to see him go out there and actually perform.
Lapse in defense right there.
As a vet at that.
Yeah.
Think about how important those vets were last year that Cade name dropped them as the instrumental pieces for last year's run. Cade, Cunningham, step in three-pointer. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Shout out to Cade.
He's been
Cunningham.
efficient, man. 99-78.
He has had a couple turnovers, so we want to nitpick, but
He still got those 6 rebounds.
yeah.
Jeff did this to him.
No, I didn't.
Jeff did this. So he'd have his triple-double. Ooh,
Who,
Javonte
Green took a seat first row.
Miles Turner
Cade
finally
with,
missed
with
one.
the rebound. There we go.
Shoot that.
Step
Shoot
into
that.
it.
Shoot that. I know. I like that. I like that.
I do too.
I like it.
I ain't mad at it, especially if he hit that. Whoo! Cade's gutted, bro.
He's sitting down now, is he? Yep, he knew it.
He's like, damn.
He had to shoot that one. He knew he was coming up the game.
Yeah.
Cade, 22 points tonight.
Six
His over-under was set at
22,
26
rebounds,
and a
9
half.
assists.
22, 9, and 7. It's
Only
so
3
crazy to me
turnovers.
that
I
the
mean, not
only
bad. Not bad. It's not horrible.
Yeah, no,
It's okay.
that's good enough.
What is that, through 3 quarters?
Yeah.
It's okay.
They're up. They're up 21 points. So I'd call it good enough.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, that means in this quarter, Cade put up 7 in this quarter. It seems like he hit more than that. And I think it's just because of overall effectiveness in this quarter. He did have a couple turnovers that you would like to have back. But overall, his effectiveness, you're talking about 9 assists to 2 or 3 turnovers on the game. He's doing quite well.
I think what happens this next 2 minutes and the first couple minutes of the fourth is going to dictate whether Cade plays again tonight or not. If Milwaukee is able to get this down to 18 or like 15, I think you'll see Cade come back in. But if not, I think they'll rest him and
There we
smartly
go.
so.
That's what we want to see right there. Look at Jaden Ivey running point.
Ivy. Ooh, I would have pulled that. Ivy.
Oh,
Let's go.
baby.
Ivy with
That's
the
right.
with the step back baseline jumper.
So hold on, Chris. Let me
Ivy
take my
looks
time.
good.
Let me take my time.
Chill. Yeah, that's what he's saying for sure. Shout out to him. I want to see, and once Ivy gets a stretch of games, I want to see that defense take a step. I really want to see that from Ivy.
Yeah.
Because he has the tools to be just an absolute menace on defense.
And he's taken
he
enough of a
has
step.
He has made strides.
For where this team is going defensively, you're talking about, they've been second best in the league in terms of defensive rating. You want to know that he can step in and contribute to that just as much as we want to see him step in and back into contributing to the offensive side of things. If he can do this defensively, think about how many more fast breaks he can create for himself.
Yeah.
That's electric for Jaden Ivey.
And he has the tools to do so.
Good defense.
Karis LeVert bringing the ball up.
Who got the steal? Was that Ron?
Ivy with the ball now. Driving to the basket. No good, but he
got
gets
the
the foul.
foul. So it's not a smoked layup.
And that's one thing I'll say about him and Asar and Duran have been – we've always focused on Cade not getting calls and, not being able to draw fouls for whatever reason. That is something I feel like Ivy, Asar, and Duran have always been good at.
Yeah, Ivy hit the league.
And that will help.
And had a pretty decent free throw rate. And his free throw rate, I do believe it's one that eventually can be similar to what Dwayne Wade had. It's just a matter of as he gets more comfortable, because – as crazy as it sounds, guys, he and Cade still really haven't played together.
I know.
So I think as they continue to get their chemistry together, you're going to see a guy who will know when best to pick and choose the spots to attack that free throw rate, his dives downhill, because that's the one thing I want to see more of. And I think as his legs get under him, we'll see him getting back into that paint more and doing some what we saw at the beginning of last season. Hey, 102-78, knocks down the free throw, 142 left in the third quarter. And so the Pistons, this is a good third quarter from them.
Absolutely. I mean,
this
to
is a
crack
really
the
good
100
third
mark
quarter.
In the third.
How do you feel about this lineup right now?
As long as Jaden Ivey's with this lineup, this is kind of what I wanted to see earlier, was Jaden Ivey with this type of a lineup.
Javonte Green
Is this the first time he played with Ron Holland,
minute.
if I'm not mistaken?
What?
This is the first time he's played with Ron Holland on the court. Isn't it?
Who hit that?
Excuse me. I believe they had a stretch in the first half, that was. Or actually, did Ivy not play at all the second quarter? No, he played.
He didn't play the second quarter until the last
ball.
two and a half minutes.
Karis is out there on the ISO ball.
And you know what? I think JB is telling him that's his role. So, as much as I look at, oh, come on, definitely swing that ball. You got a lot of options here on offense. I think that is his role. And I think you kind of live and die by it.
Man, the Bucks make a couple shots here to close the gap, 102-83. 50 seconds left in the third quarter. And honestly, the Pistons are making them work for the shots. Yeah. It's not like they're giving up easy shots. But the Bucks do knock them down. It's just different playing against the bench guys versus playing against those starters, it seems.
Ivy.
Because you see right now the bench is matched up with the bench. But they're going to have to find a way to
Ivy,
keep that lead.
Sidestep three, no good. Ron
Was
Holland.
that Ron Holland? How did I tell you they get their offense? By turning defense to offense.
Defense to offense.
That's the nasty boys' way.
Cade absolutely has to. I see it in
Go
the chat.
take your offense.
Cade
Take it from
has
him.
to be top 3 in MVP votes.
Look at Ron, dog.
They're the first team in the league.
Look at Ron, dog. Look at Ron.
Is that not one of that's the criteria now? You have to be the best team.
Yeah.
It used to go to the best player, but now it goes to the best player on the best team.
Bro, I like Ron, dog. I do. I know he was playing a little overly aggressive on that defense there, but I like it. Look at Ron and Gary Harris. Ron and Gary Harris.
Shout out Gary Harris.
I like Gary Harris.
Yeah, shout out Gary Harris.
It's like I'm not a Spartan fan
dog.
by any stretch of the imagination. Y'all know that,
Spartan
but
dog.
I respect ballers, bro.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially the defense ones. He's made a career of just changing and being a part of defensive culture.
Absolutely.
And a pretty cool mustache. He got that Jeff mustache going on.
You know, that's actually one of the things that Draymond literally went on record. It was just like, I'm better than you at this. I'm better than you at that. I have more first team defense, second team defense. I have more all defense. Defensive Player of the Year awards than you. He said that all on his podcast, directed toward Kenyon Martin.
Jeez,
man, that would suck to hear Doc Rivers' voice every day. That would suck. Shout out to Doc Rivers. I like Doc Rivers. He's a good coach.
Is he?
I think he is. He won a championship. To me, that's a good coach.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a bad coach that's won an NBA championship because David Blatt was gone. One Cavs won. So I can't name a bad coach that's won a championship.
Dust Taker said, someone earlier today said Pistons were interested in trading for Kawhi Leonard. Please, no. And
listen,
look, you're going to hear a lot of these rumors out there. Yeah. Right now, Trajan Langdon has been very, very truth. Yeah, he's been very, very clear. We've, been able to talk to him. He's been saying, I want to assess this. These guys, last year, he said, these guys pushed the envelope for us, and they changed our trajectory. He said that.
Yep.
This year, he wants to let these guys develop. Think about if they didn't. We wouldn't be talking about Duran having this all-star breakout and probably the leading candidate for most improved player. So right now it's proving that having faith in these young players is going to be the way. And we already see. Did he not bring back in and reload those vets? That was what I was saying. When I saw him bringing in the shoulders, when I said, you know what, in this offseason, a pivot after Malik Beasley, I was going to be comfortable with what Trajan Langdon did because I knew it was going to be the right types of players for what this squad was going to need to take the next step.
And I want to say something because we talk about the making a move a lot, and I talked about this on heavyweight, so I want to do this here since this is a Pistons stream. I spent a lot of time this week diving into the CBA, trying to map out the Pistons' best path. And so everybody's obviously looking at the move. The East is wide open. You're at the top of the East, and you look like a team that can make the finals even without making a move. And so a lot of people are like, this is the time. You hear the Lauri Markkanens, the Jaren Jackson Jr.'s, the whatever star you're going to see available, their name is going to get attached to, like you saw with Kawhi Leonard. I wouldn't put any stock in Trajan wanting a guy like Kawhi Leonard that you can't count on to play. But I still look at this situation as if you're Detroit. So they have up until next trade deadline, not this trade deadline, next trade deadline to make their quote-unquote their star move. Because you this season, you're going to, I don't know if you're going to max Duran, you're going to near max him, whatever. But even if you max Duran, you are still under the first and second apron. You might have to shed like Duncan Robinson's salary or like B-Ball Paul or something to make it work. But you can do that and keep all of your flexibility. Sign mid-level exception players. Use your tax mid-level exception, and then that following season is where you'll want to is the last point you'd want to make that trade because once you sign a star, you will be a second apron team.
And they have other people too. You got to worry about Jaden Ivey, Marcus Sasser too, who could get signed and change things for them.
That's where it's going to get interesting for the Pistons is because you could, let Tobias walk or sign him for very cheap and fill in Ivy, and Jenkins is another person that they're going to have to look at re-signing. And
unless there's just a bona fide two-way star that's available for the Pistons who's going to actually
be the right
play.
Guy.
And it's like my thing is this. You see already Jalen Duran has developed into a star. Cade Cunningham has developed into a superstar this year. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. That's basket interference. They should wave that off. But and that's the benefit in do they need to make a move? If they make a move, then what are they doing? Because right now Tobias Harris fits with this team. Are we bringing in another ISO guy to do what? Exactly. Take the ball from Cade? No. JB Bickerstaff laughed at me when I asked, hey, is there any notion? Because your previous two counterparts, the previous two coaches, their strategy was to bring down the usage of Cade Cunningham to increase his efficiency. Are you trying to do that? He said, absolutely not. And what did we see? That usage is like the second highest of his career. That's what it is for Cade. So I don't see there being this situation where you're seeing, players like Dennis Jenkins. When you're talking about how you're going to navigate this money going forward, you're going to need to sign good players like Dennis Jenkins to cheap contracts to be able to make sure you can afford your Jalen Durans. And what if Jaden Ivey blossoms this year? We don't know. Is there another star in the bush just waiting? Like, we don't know. And that to me is where it's like, who exactly in this NBA as a star are we bringing in? I almost trust Trajan to go out there and find one of those next up type players, one of those players who might be on their first or second contract who hasn't quite been discovered to be a winning player of sorts. And that's kind of what I'm hoping. If Trajan can find one of those guys, I think that would bowl better because I feel like we got our stars.
Yes.
I do.
I think too, the other thing, Jeff, before I get to you, because I know that you are strong in the Lauri camp, and I'll let you make your case. The thing to me is that, honestly, and I've said this, and Pistons fans probably don't like hearing this, but I always keep it real, is that I don't know if getting a guy still closes that gap with OKC. I think OKC, as much as this Piston team is good and as much as they can get to the finals, and I think they have a very good shot at representing the Eastern Conference, and you get to the finals, anything can happen. Somebody can tweak an ankle on the other team, or you just outplay them, get hot, whatever. As much as those things are true, I truly believe that there is a strong Grand Canyon gap between OKC and the rest of the league. I think what you saw last year is them go to 7, and guess what? They overcame that, won a championship, and they're a team now that is completely battle-tested and young and getting better. You expect SGA to be better. You expect Jalen Williams to be better. You expect Chet to be better. Every single person on that roster is young outside of Caruso and Hartenstein. And those players are still not at that age yet where they're dipping. So I think that OKC is the best team in the NBA by a clear margin. I think the Pistons have a great argument to be the second best team in the NBA right now. I think it's them, and I think it's Denver. But there is such a big gap that, to me, I almost look at making that star move as not enough. Like, I truly believe that in my heart right now, and maybe the Pistons will prove me wrong. Maybe what they have right here, this infrastructure, will carry over. And like I said, when you get to playoffs, anything can happen. But right now, I'm not mortgaging the future because I think this OKC team is so damn good that I think you can get there as is, keep your powder dry, and make your shot and be selective and pick the best player when it happens. I know the argument is good to do right now because Halliburton's out. Tatum's
good patience,
out.
Jalen.
I get the argument. The East will never be more open than it is right now. But I don't see the Pistons falling from that East. They're a young, good team.
That's what I'm saying. If people aren't saying that the Orlando Magic needed to go make a splash, they just said that they got a complimentary third piece in Desmond Bane. I'm sorry. I promise you I believe in Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren more than Franz and Paolo. That's just me. I don't care that you can have your own opinions, but I'm telling you, if I had to pick 2 players from my franchise, it's those 2 every single time. That's just how it's going to go down for me. And so that's where it gets real tricky because when you talk about bringing in a star, yes, no one's crying over if you have to part with maybe some of these players that we like.
Yes.
But will those players be the ones that get it done? No. If you're getting Lauri Markkanen, you think that they're selling for our bench players? And if you do get a Lauri Markkanen, you get rid of your nasty boys. Well, I can already hear you guys on the playoffs hit. You talk about playing up against OKC Thunder. Yes, Lauri Markkanen can help you with scoring, but what's happening when the tough gets going? Because you're talking about 2 of the best defensive teams in the league. I like the makeup of this current squad. I almost want to see how they can develop because if you're talking about taking a shot at taking down OKC, you're going to need nasty boys. You're going to need physicality. You're going to need defense. You're going to need depth. You're going to know that you're going to have to know, look, we're playing in the penalty all game. Like, literally, OKC is getting free throws within the first 6 minutes of the game. Y'all are getting free throws after everything, but we're going to need the depth. Like, that's the way. And then when it gets to mano-a-mano time, it's Cade and SGA. That's the only way that anyone's really going to take them apart, unless you're just out there just blazing from three-point line, which gets difficult because that's one of your best teams at read and react, at play over here, help and get back. They do that so well, which is what I believe is honestly one of their best keys on defense.
Absolutely. Like I said, look, you get to finals, I'm not mad if you make that move because I get it. You have a shot to win an NBA championship, and you shouldn't just concede it to another team. I get that. But I just also think that the Pistons have the luxury of being selective. And I know that a lot of Detroit sports fans don't like that because we've seen Brad Holmes be that, and the Lions haven't punched one in. So I get the urgency.
There are clear weaknesses, though. Like, what's the clear – so if we did the move right now, what's the clear weakness? Because as much as people want to say they want to trade or upgrade Tobias Harris, I liked how he looked in the playoffs last year. And I like how he's looking this year.
Yeah, I like how he's looking right now.
Like, if we trade him in several of our depth pieces, think about it. When Lauri's going to the bench, who's coming in for him?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I feel like when I say, when I bring up Lauri, is mainly that's a player that I would accept for them to trade for. If you're going to give up a lot of assets, if you're going to give up a lot of picks, a lot of,
I don't even know if I could anymore.
2 or 3 of these players, that's the only player I can really say, okay, I'm okay with that, especially with the year he's having now.
Cade with the bucket to get to 24.
But other than that, you brought up the fact that, he could always go find, one of those stars that have not truly blossomed yet, or one of those all-stars that just haven't got there yet.
I feel like Pelicans and Grizzlies got some of those guys.
And it's funny you say the Pelicans because where they traded it come from.
Is so good at that.
And who is a player over there that I really like? Trey Murphy III.
That's what I'm saying. There's those types of players I want.
Way better than
those. The Santi Aldamas, the Trey Murphys, yeah. I would take those. Trey Murphy
is someone I would trade Tobias in the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
With a pick. Yes, you do. Come on, Kool-Aid.
I'll give him 3 picks. I don't care.
Yes,
that boy Trey Murphy can ball. I'll give him 3 picks.
I'm telling you do.
I'll trade for him, but 3 picks.
No, I'm not saying 3 picks. I didn't say 3 picks.
Platte is like, get it done.
Platte said 3 picks.
Well, no, because I'm only doing that because
I didn't say 3 picks.
So here's the cheat code that the Pistons are in. Is they have Tom Gores, who I believe will write a blank check to win a championship. And
Absolutely.
The thing about the CBA is that, you know what? You can have a second apron, but guess what? You can re-sign your players. That's all you can do. Tom Gores, I think, will pay.
Paid and won in the post.
Shout out.
He's killing right now.
He's killing.
Sheesh.
Tom Gores, I think,
will
be willing to re-sign Ivy, Dennis Jenkins, Ron Holland. All these guys are not going to be cheap to re-sign, but you can do that. So what I'd rather do if I'm the Pistons is I would actually rather look at those trades that Indiana made with Pascal Siakam, that Desmond Bane and the Magic just made for that trade, where you're not giving up core players, you're just giving up an extra pick because those picks are in the 20s, and I believe that it's more valuable to have a guy like Ivy that you can then re-sign rather than doing Ivy and 2 firsts. I'd rather take out Ivy and give him an extra first or a first in a swap. I would rather do that.
When you look at those,
what are the chances you're going to draft somebody better than Ivy?
But that's the thing. When you look, what are the chances? Like realistically, who is the player that you're going to go out there and it makes this team better than OKC?
I said,
that's what I'm saying. If you're gutting the team to do that, but you can't get him.
It's Devin Booker if he's available.
To make them better than OKC. I don't think that they're better than OKC.
That would be the only player.
We've seen him paired up with how much talent. They have tried to give him playoff appearances. They can barely give him playoff appearances.
I feel like it would be different with Cade.
He got to the finals.
The thing is with
come on, bro.
The thing is with Devin Booker though is we can't.
And you don't like that supporting cast better?
Who?
You don't like the supporting cast that Devin Booker would have in Detroit better than what he had in Phoenix?
That's what I'm saying. What supporting cast? That's what I'm saying. If you're telling me you're gutting what we're saying is spurring this team no matter who's on the court, that to me matters. We talk about identity here.
Yeah.
And I used to be on the gumption of Devin Booker and Lauri Markkanen before you realize you actually got something here that's pretty special. If you're getting those guys here, you have to know that you can run everything through Cade and Booker, Cade and Lauri. And if those two aren't enough, we've seen dynamic pairings like that. If those two are not enough, well, you've gutted your future, and you've gutted your depth, and you've gutted some of your defensive identity, and you've gutted the guys who are going to go out there and get scrappy and get after it. Right. We saw this bench go out there and create a lead tonight. And so when you're talking about giving up 3 picks plus 5 players to get in, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take some 2 to 4 players.
It take
Ivy,
part of your rotation. Holland, and obviously Tobias for salary. And it would take a boatload of picks.
If that's all it took to get Devin Booker, you would do it. But yes. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be more than that.
They'll want Asar Duran, and that's where I would draw the line. Like I think there are. prices.
At some point, you say, all right, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, for me, it's like, no, I'm not. I don't see the value for where we are right now. Like these other teams that have to make this. Orlando can't sit back and say things like we have an Ivy type of player who could be the 3rd best player on the team behind a Cade. Like we actually got how many lottery picks? Yeah. Ron Holland's a 5th overall pick. We actually have guys who are seniors stepping up. How many people thought Isaiah Stewart would become one of your best big men in the league and he's coming off the bench? How many people thought Jalen Duren would become one of your best, Stewart best defensive bigs off the bench? How many people thought Jalen Duren would just become one of your best bigs in the league, period? Like if you could homegrown 04 Pistons squad and see it in the flesh, like I'm seeing people who are taking it serious to know that, well, this is about the restore. This is about making sure we do have that identity. So if you go and you tinker with that and you get rid of 3 to 4 guys in your regular rotation right now to bring in a Devin Booker, you got to know that that's not going to mess things up. To bring in a Lauri Markkanen, you have to know what outside of that. We're not talking about bringing them into the teams that was struggling to get anything going. Where at that point in time, that we didn't know who Jalen Duren was going to be or what Jaden Ivey was going to be. But imagine this. There were people who would have traded, both of them, Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey at a time, for Devin Booker. And there's people who would have traded Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey for just Lauri Markkanen.
And Kool-Aid, I'm gonna make the argument against myself because Booker I would do for Ivy, Holland, and picks. That is where I would draw the line.
I just feel like they would want more than that.
Yeah,
I don't think.
And
they would
of course, you
got
to give them
and respectable.
Well. Just for contract
that's fair.
reason.
Devin Booker is worth more than that offer, but I would draw the line there. So if you're looking at the reason to not do it, look at OKC. What did OKC do? They moved one young player for a role player when they were ready. The rest of their team developed inside. The big moves they made is they signed Isaiah Hartenstein, and then they went and they traded Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso, and that was a win-win. Chicago got a young piece that they can have to rebuild, and he didn't necessarily fit in OKC, and OKC got one of the best role players in the league in Alex Caruso. And so that is more like that kind of lends the argument to making the Trey Murphy trade rather than making the Devin Booker trade.
And you know what, Chris? I also see a lot of comparison in the Boston Celtics in this team as well. Because you talk about someone like Cade who, obviously, top pick, in the draft, he's going to be your all-star. He's your superstar moving forward. You got Jalen Duren kind of getting up there to be that all-star player now.
Stu ends in a dunk.
I mean, even the Celtics, they went out and, they traded, to get Kristaps Porzingis, which helped them win a championship. Now, did they have to, end up start moving things around afterward?
Shout out.
Toward, starting this season? Yes, because they had to. But it's just, what is it going to, is trading for Lauri going to win this team a chip? That's something that you have to really diagnose at the trade deadline and to really see, because going into this offseason, he was cheaper than he is now. You could have traded, probably Tobias and maybe, Ron Holland and, a boatload of first-round picks for Lauri Markkanen. But now that prices went up now.
It was always going to be.
So I understand that.
It was always you were never going to be Jeff. I'm going to stop you right there, bro.
That's why I'm okay with
Jeff, bro. You were never going to get him for a cheap deal.
Yeah.
This is their only. This is it for the Jazz.
That's their
not
shot.
necessarily cheap,
That's
but cheaper than what.
You were never getting them for
Tobias. Where he's at
if they traded them for just those two people, what are they getting? The Pistons are a good team, and you're trading them junk that's not going to return. Now what are the Jazz going to do?
Yeah,
nothing, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like, and that's just something that Rob Beard has helped me learn over the years. It's like I've been able to kind of be like, okay, they're just not doing that.
Yeah,
like it's not
facts.
what Danny Ainge's gonna do. He has to get a haul. He has to get the 3 and 4 picks. He has to get the rotation player. He has to get the 2 or 3 young players
that he
bring in that he likes. Like it gets now. Can he back himself into a corner where then maybe some team gets lucky? Yeah, but I just don't see where this fits for the Pistons. And then I'm sorry, there were times in the playoffs where Tobias had to play a brand of defense I have never seen Lauri Markkanen play in my life. Yeah. And I don't think people understand that. When it's Cat versus Lauri Markkanen and what the frick is going on? Are you telling me that at the end of the games we're going to have to go with double beef and put Lauri on the bench? Like, if you're telling me if I'm a team and I'm playing the Pistons with and they traded their nasty boys and they got Lauri, I'm attacking the hell out of Lauri. Every chance I get. I am putting him on his back feet, getting fouls on him, and I'm saying, your defense is going to have to be the make or break for this team. And that, to me, is the type of stuff that scares me. Like, if you could pick on one of our guys, you got to hide him, because that was what one of my worries was with Duncan. But Duncan has proved, no, I can play D. So if Lauri's the guy who comes here and he gets supercharged off of something like that, then yeah, but you're going to need him to ball out.
That's something that you wouldn't know until it happened, right? And you wouldn't see maybe if a different coach was able to get that defense out of Lauri. Yeah. But I mean, that's why I say, I'm definitely okay with going the route of maybe you go after someone like Trey Murphy III or,
Well, the other thing too is, guys, we're having conversations about a team that could reach the finals this year. And the thing that has always been my knock and always been my hesitation about getting Lauri Markkanen is that he is in the top 10 all time for games played without playing in the playoffs. I know you're gonna. Save me the stats. I know the teams he played for. But look, you're telling me that you are mortgaging the future for a guy that you've never seen battle tested. And Game 7 of the finals, you have no idea if that kid is gonna show up or not. You have zero idea in that. And to me, I'm kind of against making that move. I get the fit is perfect. I don't like it. I won't call it perfect because there is the defensive issues that you highlight. But I get the reasons why the fit is appealing.
Offensively, it would be one of the most potent.
But again, I can't put stock in a guy I haven't seen battle tested because you know what? The Pistons are going to get to the finals, and you know what they're not going to be? They're not going to be experienced. They had one playoff series against New York, and I think they learned from that. But the thing with the Pistons is, and history in the NBA, is that these teams take multiple seasoning to get there. OKC themselves, it took them multiple cracks at it to finally punch home that title.
But it was never going to happen without the maturation of SGA.
Yes. Yeah. And that this is the NBA. The NBA is a tall climb to the mountain. It is not this year we made it. This year we're historically. That's why I thought OKC was kind of an anomaly because even though they won the championship last year, they are a pretty inexperienced championship team.
It felt like they were ahead of schedule, which is scary as hell to say.
Yes.
Because it feels like, whoa, y'all weren't supposed to win 3 championships. Y'all still have 2 or 3 championships in a row ahead of you.
Yes.
Like, I wasn't expecting, bam, right now I'm winning scoring titles, I'm winning MVPs, I'm winning rings.
So if I'm taking, and that goes back to why I would be okay with going to Booker to a certain price, is because I've seen that guy play in the finals.
I like Booker a lot more than Laurie. I just wonder how much his price would be. And that's the only thing.
I feel like,
and I agree.
To get fair. Devin Booker, number one, the Suns they would have to even consider trading him, which I don't think they have ever, because that's the best player that they've had in a while. And I know they had Kevin Durant, but still, that was the first player that they've drafted that was, truly, theirs.
We just talking about this squad like they're not up 117-101. This will be their first win in Milwaukee since 2022. Yeah. And it'll be their 12-game winning streak. And 4:33 left in this fourth quarter, and Tobias Harris is at 15 points and 5 assists. And this is the thing. I see Scuba School says, marketing Caden during Kool-Aid. He give me the arm. And I do. I trust me, it's tantalizing offensively. I just wonder when it gets down to winning time, which is where we saw this Pistons team drop the ball several times against the Knicks. That's where things get concerning. But then it's like, if he's that guy that can score, then cool. But what you see their offense able to do right now without needing that high ISO guy, that high usage guy like a Laurie Markkinen, they're able to just play a lot more free. You're seeing Tobias Harris, Isaiah Stewart, and Duncan Robinson pick up that 3-point usage for this starting lineup. But, I mean, I can't lie. You talking about Laurie would be potent. Like, if there was a case for it, his offense is just potent. It is potent. You're talking about Tobias, who can go on some cold streaks. Laurie's not going on cold streaks at all.
And that's why you do that trade. That is exactly the reason why you do that trade. It's not because you're thinking, okay, defensively I might be able to get something out of him. It's because offensively you feel like you need that firepower.
Ryan Rollins, man, got 22 points tonight, and field goals this quarter. The Bucks have taken
Duncan pass from Ivy. What a bullet pass.
The Bucks have taken 16 field goals this quarter. That would lead you to believe that the Pistons have been giving up some second chance points and opportunities. Pistons only 8 field goals, but they've made 6 of them.
It's been a little sloppy for them this quarter so
defensively. Far. Offensively, they've been good, but defensively, you see there it goes. Another slow rotation. They get lucky there.
Jalen Duren, take that all the way, young blood.
Who's in the game right now helping to close? Is that Jaden Ivey?
Yeah. Jaden Ivey.
Hey, would you have loved to see him?
It's clutch time moments, and Jaden Ivey's in the game. Would you love to see him throw
that one up? You would love to see him throw that one up.
I would have loved to. Them legs look like they're a little.
got the sea legs.
He's getting the legs.
Legs back. That was a good conversation, though. And it's like, you definitely have me probably thinking a lot more about Booker than anybody else because I actually like his two-way ability. He's not like the best defender. But he wants to defend. Yes. And I like that about him. He has a little bit of that grit and grind.
Tobias with the flush.
That's what I'm saying.
I think he ran into
Get
some
up,
guy
Unc.
there.
Get up, Unc. I like Tobias, man. If we can keep getting this Tobias, I'm just like, because think about it, if they re-sign him next year, he's gonna be cheap, bro.
Oh yeah, no. Hey,
and it would have to
brother,
be.
we gave you a bag.
Yeah, it would
We're
have
gonna need
to.
this one on the. We're gonna need this one on the strength. We're gonna need this one on the strength.
I saw a backhand Platty. Yeah. I saw a backhand Platty for a minute. Like, wait, let me get reserved again. It better be.
Man, it would have to be. It would have to be in order for
violence,
this team to consider, moving forward with him. It would have to be a cheaper deal. And that would have to be significant. Like, we're talking like I'm thinking like, because he's making 26 right now. I'm thinking like, bro, you might have to be more around like the 12 range.
I'll go under that and I'll say, hey, or I'll go get J. Cole for $2 million.
All-star J. Cole.
I'll go get J. Cole for $2 million. I know he still wants the ball. He's not dropping that album.
Dust Decker says Tobias fades in the playoffs historically. Historically, yes, but here in Detroit, he actually was
toughness,
really good, and he was grimy and gritty.
He did play well in the playoffs because regular season Tobias, I was ready. Like I'm good on it. He did show some life in that playoff series, and that's where all right, cool. Yeah. I can see him being important, but it's just if you get that opportunity to maybe where you get a New Orleans Pelicans team who probably just wants to maybe just kind of blow this thing up.
You can get a Trey Murphy, then hey, Tobias,
I'm okay with that.
We got you in the offseason, bro.
Hey, come back.
We'll Lindsey Hunter this thing for you.
Come back. We'll give you. We'll give you.
If there's a Trey Murphy, if there's a Laurie, if there's a Devin Booker, obviously, and they literally just pull up and say, "Hey, we'll just take 3 players. Let's go. Let's make them contract and 3 draft picks for that." Yeah, here you go. Yeah. But
how do you feel about Michael Porter Jr.? I seen that we kind of had
up the list. Just real quick.
I don't really like Michael Porter Jr.
One more game of 25 and 10, just real quick, and K will tie Trae Young for third for most consecutive 25 and 10-point games. So he is 4 away from tying the leader. What were you saying, Platty?
I was just saying when it came to what did you say about
Michael Porter Jr.?
Oh, Michael Porter Jr. Yes, Michael Porter Jr. to me is somebody that that back
streaky
scares
though.
Me. Yeah, I want a guy that I can believe in the availability.
He's too streaky, and that's something
he's
that
too streaky. Yeah,
he's not reliable.
Very streaky. We've seen that even in the playoffs, even during his time, and he was never a 1. He was never a 2.
Yep.
He was maybe the 3, maybe not even that because they still had Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon's a really good player.
And 2,
so maybe he was the 4th option on that team at points, and he was still streaky.
Yes.
So I don't know. I wouldn't like. I'm not giving up a lot to get.
I don't want a ball stopper like that.
I'd rather have Trey Murphy if I'm going with a younger player.
That was something you and I have been on the Trey Murphy aspect the last couple of years, especially when the news first came out about like Zion and he might get traded and everything. All of us were like, if there's players we want, it's those sub players.
Yeah.
Well, like seriously, like, we can compliment now. Chaz is in the game.
There we go. Chaz in the game now.
Every active
Piston.
You see what time it is? Under 2 minutes.
127, 108.
Up by 19.
But it's against a team that can hit a couple threes, so it's like Chaz still has to play.
Yeah.
I think it's good minutes because these guys are still playing hard. They're going to give him the and one or free throws.
And then they're just going to take Duran out.
Oh, my God. That was a crazy make by
Thanasis or whatever his name is?
Thanasis.
Yeah, Giannis's brother.
Thanasis. Somebody needs to snap and just Giannis is the only one that belongs in the NBA.
Pistons looking like they're obviously
look at Cade having
Cade
fun
on the sideline having fun.
And you know what? You know what? Let's for the duration of this stream, let's go ahead and cut that trade talk out because let's go ahead and give this team credit for what they've done today.
12 wins in a row. We're calling up
with mainly of their
10,
fully drafted players.
Yeah.
And this team they've performed. Everybody came in and they did their job. They did their role for the most part. We got the
Miles
return of Jaden Ivey
tonight, Nicholas Wood. Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yes, sir.
Pretty divided. Veto all trades. MPJ is a flamethrower. I take him as the 3rd option. There's a lot. Let us know. And also, if you haven't, please smash that like button. We are at 162 likes with 173 people in here. I know there's quite a few people that haven't smashed that like button yet. So let's get to that 200 number. And most importantly,
how many people have stopped by? Can you see the total number tonight, man? I know we got to at least have about 1,000 or so that stopped by tonight or more.
And make sure, if this is your first time here at Woodward Sports, welcome. We cover Detroit
3K?
sports the best. Yeah. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel.
You said a little bit over 3K tonight. God, Pistons fans are sickos.
Let's go. Let's
Shout
go,
out.
man. Shout out the Pistons. Shout out the Pistons, man.
People
Shout out
don't
to
think
everybody.
we need a trade. Can we get that poll too? Do you want to see the Pistons get a trade? Because we'll talk maybe for 20 minutes after this game.
Jeff, do you want to do that poll? Give them a couple options. Trey Murphy, Laurie,
Somebody,
Booker.
in trouble with the cops outside.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. That's what you was looking at. Are you going to put that one shot on me real quick? Pistons up 129, 110, 125 left in the game. I don't know if they can see the lights behind me, but they turning up Woodward tonight, man. Even on the way in, everybody was getting pulled over. So if you out there on Woodward, if you're having a good time tonight, be safe, y'all. Be safe.
Yep, absolutely. Cam 3. Not working for you?
It's off. It's off.
Oh, yeah, you could just power it on by the button behind.
There we go.
Paul Reed.
129, 113,
Still
57 seconds left to go in this game. I'm seeing people, they like Trey Murphy, man. I see Mitten made in the chat.
Yeah, I like Trey Murphy too. I think that's a great pull for the Pistons. I think you're looking at
He's someone you'd be able to, especially JB, be able to kind of like maybe get some more defense out of him because he's lengthy, and he's athletic.
Oh my God,
Who was that, Asar? I want to see more of that. I don't care. I want to see more of that.
Absolutely.
That's the Asar that I want to see. I know he got blocked.
Yep.
Probably some contact, but I want to see more of that.
100%.
Just his.
That
he
was
would
like,
try it. I
ooh.
want to see him try it.
Yeah.
That's
Because he's gonna finish it.
Why isn't there a Woodward Sports bar? That is
There needs to be.
that would be
Hey, we don't give
that
out
would
too many.
be
There needs to be. Who said that?
detrimental to my girlfriend.
Melodrum
I would be
313.
here
Yes,
all
there
the
needs to
time.
be. There needs to be.
Shout out Rachel.
Oh, that was
Pistons
smart.
Are gonna go
That was
on
smart.
to win.
So to avoid the shot clock, he got the turnover instead. He just threw it over to the Bucks players to just run it up.
Yeah, shout out. Give somebody a steal. Give somebody a stat. Those were hard to come by
Honestly,
for Milwaukee.
just shoot it. Like
Yeah.
the last 3 seconds or whatever it don't
yeah,
go
that's
on your
always
thing.
just kind of been looked at as poor sportsmanship, though. I think
Just-
that's what it is.
Just throw it. I don't
But
care.
if you're
Get the Bucks out of here. F them.
if you're the dogs that you say you are, no.
First 12-game winning streak since 2003 and 2004. First win versus the Bucks since January 3rd, 2022. That is insane. There's some teams that just had our
Pistons
numbers
won
over the
again.
years. And the Pistons, man,
And-
they finally get it done against the Milwaukee Bucks.
And yeah, we know
you know
no
what?
Giannis,
12 games in a row, people.
Yeah,
This
No
is
Giannis.
magical. Enjoy
but
this.
still,
No, but are you kidding me?
Still.
I covered 3 seasons of them getting blown out in games like this.
Yeah.
I covered 3 seasons of like the Washington Wizards coming in and dancing all over us,
And
and
we just-
Desmond Bain coming in here and literally T-Rex shooting us out of the game.
and we just got over a span where Cade Cunningham didn't play for 3 games. So
Yeah,
and we won those
were, like,
games. So it's like
losses
still,
in the past.
still.
These are character wins. I'm going to continue to say it. Remember earlier in the season when Dennis wasn't getting a ton of minutes, but we noticed that his minutes were solid? We were remarking about him then, saying he's an NBA player, and then what happened? Boom, you see it. What this shows me is that JB Bickerstaff and Co., they actually have a really good handle on their personnel.
Yes.
They have a great handle on their personnel. We talk about the lineups, and is this going to fit, and is that going to fit? What do we keep saying, though? We would give, like, our criticism, but then be like, but we're going to just see what JB Bickerstaff has to say about this. We want to see what JB Bickerstaff is going to do with this lineup because he obviously sees something. So shout out to him for understanding because right after that, we saw Javonte Green go on a run. And we saw different players off the bench, different energy players at different times step up and make things happen. There was a little stretch of time where it was Ron Holland who made some things happen. So it's good to see that he knows what his players are, how to push those buttons, but it's about what happens throughout this course of the season. What happens in the second half of the season when the coaches, they get their all-star break, they're able to go back and reassess and look at some things as it relates to their schematics and things, their scouting reports and such. So the Pistons could get attacked differently in the second half of the season than they are right now, and they're going to have to prove formidable. They're going to have to prove that they can make the adjustments. Why? Because in the playoffs, that's what happens game by game by game. And so, hey, you know what? Good on JB Bickerstaff for having these guys in a position to where their identity is the same no matter who is out there on the game, bro. And you know what, Platty? I think it's that time too, man. We got to cut this, man, because the Pistons won again. We got to make sure we cut the promo live on the air again. Y'all already know.
Everybody smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are not already.
Hey, what was that poll we wanted to put?
Would you want the Pistons to make a trade, or who would you like the Pistons to trade for?
Yeah,
and then do 3 options. Do Laurie, Trey Murphy, Devin Booker, and then the fourth option, no trade.
What up, though, people? Man, the Pistons again. They won again, 12 in a row. And you know what, man? Shout out to the returns of Tobias Harris and Jaden Ivey. They both played well. Got the box score up here. Tobias with a cool 18 points on 7 of 9 shooting. And Jaden Ivey, man, welcome back, man. He scored 10 points in the return in 15 minutes, 4 of 6 shooting. And Cade Cunningham, another game, Platty, with 25 and 10. He finished with 29, 10 points, 8 assists in a 129-116 victory over the Bucks. And you know what? That's Cade Cunningham extending his franchise leading streak of games with 25 and 10. Platty, talk to me about this game, brother.
Listen, man. This is a special ride to be on. The Pistons are going for history. They are 1 game away from tying the franchise win record. But tonight, talking about tonight, Ivy looked good. Harris looked good. Duncan looked good. Everybody on the Pistons team shined. Everybody played. Everybody played. And so this is a game where Cade Cunningham proved that he is an MVP candidate. You don't put this guy in the top 5 MVP. He has to be in the top 3. They are the 2nd best team in the NBA. What more do you want on your MVP resume?
You know, bro, you got me. I got to turn the hat backwards for this one, man. Shout out to the Pistons. Shout out to those nasty boys. Keep bringing the defense. Keep bringing the wins, man. Pistons win again. They moved to 14-2 in the year.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's go.
Do it.
Hey, and we are back, man. That's how it's done, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's how it's done.
That's
Shout
how
out.
it's done, man.
Let's
Shout
go,
out to
man.
the chat,
Vote
fam.
for my guy.
And you know what we do, man? Let's get through this box score, and then I want to be able to hear from you guys as it relates to your players of the game. There's cops everywhere. There's more cops back there now.
Man, they are out tonight.
They are out, man. But
I think they're just taking in.
yeah, but we talked about Tobias and Jaden Ivey, Duncan Robinson, 15 points, 5 of 6 shooting from the floor. I told you guys there's gonna be nights when it's like 2 of 7, and there's gonna be nights when it's like 5 of 8 for him. This is Duncan Robinson, and lately we're getting a whole lot more of these efficient shooting nights. Jalen Duren, 19 points, 7 of 10 from the floor. It continues to be patient. This is what I like about Jalen Duren, though. 6 rebounds, 5 assists for him. He's filling the stat sheet. Got to bring that turnover number down. He and Cade did combine for 7 turnovers on the night. They got a little sloppy there in the third quarter, and they cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Cade, though, still a game-high 33 minutes, a game-high 29 points for Cade Cunningham, and a game-high 10 assists. He's finished with that 1 steal and 1 block that he had from the beginning of the game, but he had a couple more rebounds. I thought he was going to get that triple-double. Asar Thompson, 6 points, but he seemed to just be all over the court. And I want you to be able to expand on him a little bit later when we get into the players, just to talk more of the impact that you saw. Obviously, Paul Reed, 5 minutes, 2 points. Chaz Lanier, 2 minutes in the game. But Dennis Jenkins, I thought he played really well for his minutes. 7 points, did not miss a shot, hit his only 3 as well for 7 points. Did have 3 turnovers, which you want to see him be a little bit better. So he had a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio tonight. You want to see when he's out there with his minutes. For a good game for Dennis Jenkins as a facilitator off the bench, now it's your turnovers have to be next to 0.
Yes.
If we're talking about what's next for Dennis Jenkins, and it's going to be an adjustment. But I thought he did acquit himself well. He got settled in. Karis LeVert, 5 points, 2 of 6 from the field. Javonte Green, 7 points. Ron Holland, 4 points on the night. And Isaiah Stewart, 7 points. So everybody got in tonight. Everybody contributed. But Platty, I got to go to you in terms of your player of the game. And I also want you, if it's not Asar, to also highlight him as well.
Yes, it is Cade Cunningham for the reasons I mentioned that promo clip. I mean, this is the MVP type performances you need from him when you go out there and you are the better team on paper and you make it clear wire to wire you dominate. And that's what we've seen the Pistons do the last couple games. Look, Atlanta, it did get close, but the Pistons were wire to wire winning that game. And that is something that you're now starting to see transform from the Pistons. They are not just this team that gets behind in the first quarter and then lose and then has to make up that effort. They are now getting out to leads and starting strong and finishing strong with Cade Cunningham, the best closer in the NBA. Another reason why he should be the MVP. I think if you're closing games the way that Cade Cunningham is closing and you're the second best record in the league, I think you got a strong case for MVP. So he's my player of the game. You asked about Ausar. To me, I loved Ausar's minutes. Like you said, 3 of 6, 11 points. I don't need glossy stats from him. 3 stocks, you love to see that. That's what you need from Ausar. And he didn't have the toughest perimeter challenge tonight, honestly. He didn't. You know, this wasn't a team where he was going against an elite guard or an elite wing. This is a team that's battered and bruised right now. They're missing their best player, and their best players remaining are mainly front court players. So I thought Ausar did well. I like to see Ausar just be an absolute physical force, and you saw him try to drive and dunk. You saw him just be a bully, and people ran into him and lost the ball because he's literally just a stone wall. So he did all you needed. I thought he was great in this game for me. So he was somebody that stood out. But I mean, you could go through that whole box list. Jaden Ivey, man, looked absolutely phenomenal in his return. Looked like he's getting a bit of his legs under him, but he shot the ball well. He made some good decisions. You can see he's trying to regain that timing with Duren on the pick and roll, but he made some good passes, and that's where I want to see Ivy stride when he gets fully healthy. I want to see him make strides with playmaking on offense and just defense. He continued to make strides last year defensively. I want to see that. I want to see that keep up here for him. So, to me, I think this was a great game. Isaiah Stewart, 3 blocks, great interior defense, was the better shot blocker tonight. Against the guy that leads the decade in blocks in Miles Turner. I thought this was a great game. Duren showed up. Like you said, good on good, Jeff. I like that. So, great win for the Pistons, man. Jeff, I'll toss it to you. What were some of the players that stood out?
I mean, obviously, Jaden Ivey, of course. Return, you talk about, you be away from basketball for a year. Come back, and then you got the injury again where you got to have surgery. It's tough, man. It's tough on the mental. And you know what? He came in, and, he looked good. I mean, the shots he were taking, he took good shots. He made those shots. So it was good to see him out there. And then other than that, of course, you got Cade Cunningham, of course, just doing what Cade does. It's starting to get to a point where now he's just consistently just doing this. He's consistently just going to give you 30 and 10 with like 5 boards. Yeah. So it's like you almost it's like, damn, I expect that now. But Duren, again, just now you have Tobias back in the mix. Now you have Ivy back in the mix. But yet Duren didn't take his foot off the gas. He was efficient, and he still got his shots.
Really good point.
And he affects the game, defensively as well. I know he didn't have any of the, the blocks out there, but man, he's a beast, man. And I'm telling you, good on good. You've seen it. Him going against, one of the premier elite rim protectors in the game, and what happened? He cooked him up twice. And that's huge because we're starting to see, all right, this is not just fake. This is not just, a stretch for him. This is something that he's going to start to do consistently, and that makes him an all-star. So that's where I'm at now, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, man, you said some good things there. Both you and Platte, man, definitely preaching. And, what I love most is the identity of this team is, no matter what the lineup is. They lost players due to injury. Sometimes they say when they get players back, you got to see the chemistry and this, that, and the other. And honestly, we saw this team go out there and play really, really, really efficiently all night. They were sitting at 66%.
They didn't miss a step
from the floor at halftime. You know where they finished? 63% for the game. Yeah. They were 49 to 78 from the floor tonight. And what I like is they stuck to their identity. Points in the paint, another 56 points. They outscored the Bucks 56 to 42 in the paint. These are things that, whether Giannis is there or not, the Bucks usually are the ones going out there making it tough in the paint. You look at the Pistons, total turnovers. They only have 14 to the Bucks of 17. So, again, they win that one. And guess what? Last time we said that they got 30 points off those turnovers. They got another 30 points from the Bucks off of their 17 turnovers. 30 points. Last stream we were here, they got 60-plus points in the paint and 30 points off turnovers. And in this game, they got 56 points in the paint and another 30 points off of 17 Bucks turnovers, man. So shout out to the Pistons for that. You want to see the free throws be a little bit better, 15 or 24, but you're not going to really cry about it. But rebounding, do you guys actually realize they lost the rebound battle tonight, 32-35?
And JB Bickerstaff's going to let them know.
Oh, yeah.
Despite a win.
6 offensive rebounds for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
That's for a majority, portion of this game. That's where it kind of kept the Bucks close. Because at one point the Pistons had a 29-point lead at one point, and the Bucks were able to keep this close because they were at points out hustling the Pistons a little bit, getting those second chance points, and that's something that. That's not acceptable, especially when you play for this Detroit Pistons team. That's not going to continue.
No, you preaching, brother. You preaching. Shout out to Greg Kelser, Natalie K of FanDuel Sports. Both of them friends of the show, friends of the network. You got to actually do content with her as well, right here on some of these streams. And I got the opportunity to interview Greg Kelser a couple times. And it's interesting because Greg Kelser never minces his words. And the type of play that we see at the Pistons now is the type of play he thought they were capable of before, but that, we weren't seeing it from these guys. Like in terms of the level of play, level of heart, level of consistency to get out on the court and actually do it. To see them step into it last year, he was just like, these guys got it. He was always a believer in these young players being the ones to lead the charge as well. And so it is awesome to see, in this NBA, we know you're either going to go out there and attract the superstars or you're going to go out there and make the right selections and you're going to grow the right superstars. The Pistons of 2004, that was a little bit different because the Bad Boy Pistons were actually a drafted team who then went later and augmented. They drafted Joe Dumars. Yeah. They drafted Dennis Rodman. They drafted Isaiah Thomas. They went later and augmented with some other players. Right. But we already understand the MVPs from both of those finals was Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas. So it was awesome to see this Pistons team being able to step into that with their guys. And I know it's just early in the season, but I wanted to ask you guys, how much do you expect the play of these Pistons, what we see right now, second best defensively in the league, defensive rating, your best points in the paint team, best physicality, sharing the ball and shooting the three at a pretty good clip. How much do you expect this to be this Pistons team, or is it just them taking advantage of what they know to be slow starts to the NBA season?
I think that this Pistons team, everything they're doing is completely repeatable. I think that what you're seeing from this Pistons team, and that's why the buy-in for me is so real with this team and why I continue to say they have a shot to win the finals, is because we do see teams get off to hot starts, and guess what? It matters how you look in April, not in October and November. But with this Pistons team, everything feels so real. And you talk about those previous Piston champions. Their identity is so similar. Their DNA is so similar to this Pistons team. And you also seen a team in OKC succeed the same way the Pistons are being built, through the draft, through supplying the right veterans, the right veteran pieces, and believing and developing the young core. So everything that you are seeing from this Pistons team is completely reputable. And that's why I think you're seeing in the chat right now that, look, the no trade option is at 61%.
Wow.
And it is dominating. Everybody is clearly saying, do not touch this team. And there is real reason to not touch this team. But I will say, when you talk about what can be repeated or what can be something that that is repeated for this team, I think it will continue to be the physicality. I think it will continue to be the points in the paint. And I think that the three-point shooting might dip and flow, but for the most part, I think that almost everything you're seeing now can be improved. Tobias and Ivey are going to add points in the paint. Tobias is going to add three-point shooting. Jaden Ivey is going to add three-point shooting to this team. So I'm looking at a team that can only, in my opinion, get better from where they are now, which is scary because they've won 12 games and they are the best team in the NBA outside of OKC. They're the best team in the Eastern Conference, and right now it's between OKC, Detroit, Houston, Denver.
Yeah, hey, shout out to Chuck Brewer, one of those who have supported from the beginning. He says, tonight we matched our win total for the entire season from 2 years ago, and it's just November. You know what? What a time to be alive.
Crazy to think
what a
about.
Time, man. What a time. We're closing on 200 likes, by the way. Get that up. And
yeah,
subscribe
I
to the
see it.
channel
Some more people just got here. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to, Going in and smash that like button. It's a Saturday night. We could be anywhere. You guys could be anywhere. But we're right here. Let's make it count. Seriously.
Absolutely.
I ain't say that with the $2 super chat. I don't know if you read that. He said 4 of the last 10 champs have had a 10-plus winning streak. I know that's something that you've talked about as well, how important that's been, not just to the NBA, but to the Detroit Pistons teams that's gone on these types of winning streaks. The last time I had a streak this long was 2003, 2004. Something crazy happened that year.
Something really, really cool happened that year. The Pistons won a championship.
Took down my GOAT to do it.
Look, man, I don't know. I've had this conversation with my friend. If you get to 13, obviously all the good omens of 2004, all the good omens of 89 and 90, both years they went on 13-game winning streak. Both years they won a championship. Do you throw the next game? Is it bad?
Do you just throw it? Just, you know what? We won a lot of games already.
Is it bad? Is it a bad omen to get more than 13?
You know what? I tell you now, Chris, they can't throw that next game because
it's an NBA Cup game, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? I know it's NBA Cup. It's not playoffs.
Yeah.
But you know what?
This team has a real chance to win the NBA Cup.
And we could say this. We want this team to win the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
And that's okay to say. That's okay to say. All right? I mean, we talk about the teams that have been in the NBA Cup, especially in the championship games. Those are usually the teams that are in the playoffs going on deep runs. So we expect to see this team, in NBA. I mean, look what they did last year. They had a really good shot at getting there, and it was just short. I want to see them go in and take care of business against the Celtics and the Magic because those are both NBA Cup games that they're going to have back-to-back. So if today that was 12, you get 13 against the Pacers, that's 50. That's 14-15. So you're at a 15-game win streak because you got to win both those NBA Cup games, and we want them to win the NBA Cup. We're looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And it's right there for them. I know that they get an opportunity to move on to the knockout round if they defeat, I believe, the Orlando Magic in the next game. So they're going to have a good opportunity to – I think that's going to be a game that has some extra flair to it. I really do. You talk about an Orlando Magic team who just a few years ago everybody would have told you, and maybe at the beginning of last season, that they are firmly ahead of the Pistons. The Pistons be doing what they're doing. Even this past offseason, people thought that the Orlando Magic made the right move in the offseason, and now you're looking at it differently because their backup point guard, they should have solidified that. And Desmond Bane is not fitting in terms of the usage he needs with Franz and Paolo, who also high usage players. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting.
You've seen Paolo go down and actually Desmond Bane kind of step into form.
Yeah, so they lost some of their identity that made them what people thought was a next up team, right? Yeah. So they used to be a young, up and coming team who people thought was next up. They changed up their identity a little bit to go get a splash or a third type player or another player, and they don't look the same. They don't look like a team that I used to feel as if could, this is a squad that the Pistons are looking up to. This is a squad that the Pistons have to go and catch. I no longer feel that about the Orlando Magic anymore. And this is where the Pistons, you don't want to see them stand pat. You don't want to see the Pistons be complacent. If there's a move out there to go be had and you're not gutting the squad, you're going ahead and you do that. If this team is showing you, though, that they are a squad worth believing in and allowing to go out there and form something special, because that's what they're saying. J.B. Bickerstaff is telling them in the squad that there's something unique and special about this team. And Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart both stated that, he's been telling us this all like off season included. So it's an interesting thing to see now that this squad is actually responding to what J.B. Bickerstaff thought they could be. So that's where it gets a little tough sometimes. You're like, let's go out there and make that finishing piece. I feel like this team might be a little bit further ahead than like the Tigers and the Lions who had at this stage what these Pistons are showing us versus the weaknesses that those other teams had. Are there things that I would like to see a little bit differently? Sometimes I kind of want that rugged, intrepid, you throw them out there, you're getting 10 rebounds guy to pair with a Jalen Duren. But because I hate when I look in the box score and I see that they lost the rebounding battle.
And you know what? You bring up a good point, Kool-Aid, because, who would you have picked? 2 years, 3 years ago, who would you have picked to be the Detroit team that has, the best chance to bring you a championship back to the city. And nobody was saying the Pistons. Nobody was saying the Pistons. That was not your answer. You would say Lions, you got Tigers, you got Red Wings. You were not saying the Pistons, especially after what they went through, historic loss, losing historically. You did not have this team, anywhere near winning a championship. And now it looks like they're, one of the favorites to do so because of the fact that they've gotten off to such a good start and that this team looks like this is what they want to do it's identity for them that they want to do this every single night. They want to win every single night. Competitive drive that this team wants to win every single night. And it's kind of different, and we see them close out games differently than what they have in the past. So now it's like, dang, it is uncomfortable because we all love our Lions. But hey, the Pistons are looking like they could be the team that, ends up bringing a championship back to the city first now.
I mean, when you talk about it, especially in LCA, the team that's represented the LCA in the playoffs, hopefully the Red Wings get there this year. They got a big dub today. They were down like 3-1 with 10 or 11 minutes left in the game and wound up winning 4-3 in overtime. Shout out to the Brinkat. So it's good to see the Red Wings starting to percolate. And we already know the Lions do have a good pedigree. I expect them to be one of those teams that matter when the playoffs roll around. But that's not in the Tigers. We hope that they can do some things to keep it.
No, we all want them to win. Yeah. Don't get us wrong. But we're just saying who is going to get there first.
Yeah.
And right now, the Tigers, they missed their opportunity. They did. They missed their opportunity because they were the hottest team in baseball. They were the best team in baseball for a while, and they let it slip. And now you see the Lions, kind of like, the offensive line, and you had Frank Ragnow retire, and now you're dropping a couple games.
It does.
And the Pistons are on a historic winning streak that they haven't had since 03-04. So now you're starting to say, okay, well, dang, maybe this team could be the team that brings us the championship back to the city first.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Hey, shout out. They got Jaden Ivey as the player representative tonight for the press conference. That's what's up, man. All the support he's gotten from this team, from these guys. I just continue to feel like trading him is the last thing on their mind.
Yep.
I just do, like,
without knowing.
He just stepped back for the first game since January 1st and got 10 points, 2 assists, 4-6 field goals in 15 minutes. And he looked like himself on some of the plays. Now, the burst wasn't quite there. The athleticism wasn't quite there. But that's what you would expect of a guy who hasn't played since January.
It has to be something at the deadline that tells you, like, this team doesn't have what it takes to even get to the finals, where you kind of say, okay, maybe we could add somebody that would get us over that hump. But if this team is, in position where, okay, they're still number one team in the East at that point, then yeah, you're not gonna. Obviously, they wouldn't need the trade, or they wouldn't go out and make that splash trade because they already believe in what they have, because it's working so far. So yes, they would continue to, just ride that out.
Yeah.
Yep. Again, 129-116 win for the Detroit Pistons over the Milwaukee Bucks. Ryan Rollins got going, 24 points, but he was 9-21 from the field. For the Bucks, Cade Cunningham, 29 points, 10 assists. His sixth straight game now. Sixth straight game. That is a franchise-leading sixth straight game of 25 and 10. He's moving up the all-time list, too. There's only now 5 players in history who've done this.
You expect it.
The amount of times he has. So
it's expected now. It's expected 30 points and 10 assists for Cade tonight. Yeah. We got Danny G in the chat saying easy is punching air right now.
Better winning percentage with Ivy than without.
You know what? Make sure you bring that up on the
Facts
heavies.
are facts. Oh, I already texted
You're going to make easy crash out.
And I saw a good one
Shout out
here.
Easy.
A good question here that I had pegged is from DJ Billy Bob. He says, question, what do you think about Ron Holland's sort of underwhelming performance and kind of team chemistry awkwardness? I haven't necessarily seen the team chemistry awkwardness.
Yeah.
And with the underwhelming performance, I think that a lot of times you're going to see him be one of those guys that some games, because of his energy and because, honestly, the Pistons for a long time, they weren't matching Ron Holland's energy. So you will see him go out there and everything's on the plate for him to eat, and he's going to take it. Now you're seeing a lot of the other Pistons players. That's why they call themselves a nasty. Well, you see everybody scrapping and hustling and this and the other, and now they're meeting and matching the energy of Ron Holland. It should never be the other way around.
Right.
It should always be this. And when you see everyone raise that level, that's what you want. Will it take away from Ron Holland a little bit? It will from this counting stats. But overall, I feel like overall Ron Holland is still a young player who's learning. But ultimately, if he just continues to stick to the aspects that he said would get him on the court, defense, rebound, hustling, he's going to be okay. And in that second half, there was a couple nice rebounds that he was able to go up and snag. We talked about it. Who snagged that? Oh, that's Ron Holland. When we were talking about, hey, they got to stop these second chance opportunities. So I believe that this is, again, he's one of those players who, second year, there's some tape out there on him. I think that this is a situation where second half of the season, you're going to see guys like him and even Dennis Jenkins feel that much more comfortable in their current roles.
Yes. And I think that's what it is, too. It's I mean, look, his role has been sporadic so far. Aaron 1789 hit the nail on the head here in the chat when he said, Holland is just a victim of our depth, unfortunately. He's doing what we need him to do. And that's it. You are not looking at Ron Holland to provide. What's that?
I said thank you. Whoever said that, thank you for summarizing that much better than me.
Shout out Aaron 1789 for that one. I'm looking at Ron Holland as somebody that he is not needed to be a scorer. He is not needed to be a primary guy. I think you're looking for, like you said, that defense, that intensity, the intangibles.
And you're still seeing that tonight. Yeah. It doesn't. Not everything is going to show up in the box score, so it's important to look exactly. That's where we see the plus minus come into play.
Yeah.
Because not everything is going to be points or assists or rebounds. But when Ron Holland is out there doing the things that he's just supposed to do when he's on the court, that's what you want to see from him. Over time, is he going to get his shots? Yes, because we're going to see teams start to defend Duren differently. We're going to see them start to defend Ivey differently when these guys get going. And that's going to leave, open opportunities for these other players to step up, not just Ron Holland, but all the, other depth on this team as well. Ron Holland is someone who we have seen. He worked on his shot a lot. It looks a lot better. He's more confident in it. So it's just over time we're going to see, of course, we're going to have a couple games where Ron Holland might just give you 20 on a random night. And then next night he might just give you 0. But that's okay because as long as he's still doing what he's supposed to do on the court, then that's all we can ask for him right now because he's fitting that role that he needs to fit.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to complain about anyone really right now.
You can't complain about anybody when you're winning.
Shout out to Matty Fresh 13 with the super
That's
chat.
my guy.
Shout out Matty Fresh. He said 12 in a row. Let's go. This run has truly been special. And that's what I want to emphasize with is I want to just emphasize that Pistons fans, you guys saw the turmoil that the last couple years have been. And hell, since the going to work Pistons, it has had some moments of ups, but it has been a lot of downs. It has been a lot of treacherous roads. So just enjoy the fact that this franchise is, in some aspects, reaching new heights potentially with this win streak. And so lock in, enjoy it. Every game to me has been must watch, even if I didn't have this microphone and this beautiful platform here at Woodward Sports. Shout out to Kool-Aid for that. And even if I didn't have this beautiful platform, I would be locked in watching every game because this right now is something special. You guys lived through that streak. I don't know how we made it through. I genuinely don't. It was some of the saddest I've been.
It, though.
Thank God we had these other Detroit sports teams, but I'm a hoops guy first, so it still just ate at me. That
and you know what,
Pistons
Chris?
were that bad.
That's the only way you could call yourself a true fan if you was here. If you are a true fan and you've been following the Pistons for a while, and you went through that that type of historic losing, and you still stuck with the team. You're a true Pistons fan.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Look,
that's a part of who it is being a Pistons fan. Yeah, we've lost a lot, but now we're in a good spot.
Well, I got season ticket holders and people like
Shout out
Matty
to them,
Fresh,
man.
who I've met at where have I met Matty Fresh in person several times At LCA.
Yeah.
At LCA. He walks
Shout
up and he gives us our love. He said, bro, I love Woodward Sports. He loved the Woo crew. He just gives us support. And that's the thing. I'm about to have some interviews that I'm going to be dropping this season, and you will see the dates and the timestamps. And it's season ticket holders and people like Nick, Tailgate Always Wins, shout out. People who have poured their money in, even when this team was horrible with no direction. And these people were still saying, look, you got to have hope. It's organization. Like, the Pistons aren't just disappearing tomorrow. We don't blame people who can't or don't want to spend their money on the product right now, but you got to have hope. Because when they start winning, and I love them. When I can't wait to drop those, he was like, because when they start winning, you can't just get back on the bandwagon and be like, oh, I'm a Pistons fan again. Yeah. No, we here through the thick and the thin just like a family. And I was like, you know what? When they win it, we say it's a family. When we win it, we say, oh, that's Detroit. But reality is this. Sometimes you're down. Yeah. Were they down a long time?
Yeah.
They was.
They
were.
Was
but
it
they're back up now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Was
you
I
know, it's
bleeding
so
out?
much sweeter.
Yeah.
I know he was in the streets. I saw him in the streets when we was out there covering it. Like, you know, I saw people that was in the gym shooting when the Pistons was trying to get this right. And so it's like, for those people, and a lot of these people here in this chat tonight, they were there. Trust me. Yeah. I got the receipts. You can go back and look at some of these lives. Turn on the live chat from the old Woodward Pistons stuff. You'll see a lot of these same names that were there. So, man, especially guys like Chuck Brewer. I think I saw Devin the Dog in here tonight. It's been a couple people that, you know, take it back. Matty Fresh. Yeah, just Randall Smalls. Got to shout out to guy Randall Smalls. I think Jonathan Lord was in here. Danny G. I could just continue to list people, but you know, that's what it is, man.
You know
hey,
what?
Shout out another legend, Dante151.
Dante151, yeah.
With the super chat. To see Ivy and Harris back was so damn nice to see again. Also for JB to bring Ivy off the bench in his first game back is so smart. I like that because he knows that there's a lot of conversations and narratives around Ivy, and he is putting Ivy in the best position to succeed. And honestly, I wouldn't hate if Ivy stayed as a supercharged sixth man because I like Duncan with Cade. Now, granted, you're going to get those minutes regardless of whether you start the game with that or end the game with that or whatever. But I love having Duncan Robinson next to Cade. You saw that be a success for them last year with Malik Beasley. And, you know, and that is not a knock against Ivy. I think people have to stop looking at Ivy for, you know, what he isn't and look at him for what he is and realize that he provides his team a lot of value. Like, he doesn't have to be, I know you mentioned him potentially being the second or third best player on this Piston team. To me, he doesn't have to be. I would like for that to become the case. That would be a very good thing for the Pistons. Mm-hmm. But he could be the fifth best person on this team, the sixth best person on this team, and be extremely vital. Because you saw that tonight. 10 points, not going to wow you. Not going to wow you with those stats. But guess what he did? He impacted winning.
Look, in 15 minutes, I am wild. I'll take the 15 minutes
fair.
And the efficient shooting and the 10 points and the offense move. We saw him make the hockey assist. We saw him make the extra pass. And it's like those are the things that are going to mesh next to a Cade. Do I want a guy like Duncan Robinson starting next to a Cade? Yes. But I also want a two-guard. I want another guy in there like a Jaden Ivey who not only can handle the pressure of being like we see Asar Thompson, right? Asar Thompson can handle the pressure of a double team. But unfortunately right now, Asar Thompson cannot get downhill and finish the way Jaden Ivey can. It's crazy as it sounds, but you go back and you turn on the tape of last year and you see Jaden Ivey having a career year to start the season. That's what sucked is that we saw Cade and Jaden Ivey work last year while Malik Beasley was there, while Tim Hardaway was there. And that's what I want to see get back to it. And why does it work? Because of all the things we wanted to see. We said no matter what his stats were, is the offense moving with Jaden Ivey in there. And we saw it moving with Jaden Ivey in there. Like, that's what I think matters. His minutes with Cade Cunningham were decent, and he had some moments where it was him and the bench guys, and he helped to move that offense. Like, I like that. And as the season goes on, I like what you said about the fact that he doesn't have to be the second or third best player on this team. But I think that the reasons that you mentioned, because he'll be selfless, he'll blah, blah, blah. I think he can. Jaden Ivey can score the ball. That's what we saw tonight. This man just walked back.
He will
First game back, and it's 10 points in 15 minutes, 4-6 shooting. Like, he's going to score. If you don't think that with decent minutes, 20, 25, you don't think he's going to get back to his 17 points a game?
And Kool-Aid.
That's just my thing.
I hope so. I believe so.
And you know what? It's a different because what you get from Ivy is a different level of attacking the basket. When you see Cade attack the basket, Cade doesn't have that, that overwhelming athleticism. He has more of like a sneaky athleticism. Like you don't really see it there, but it's there. Ivy is so explosive when he goes to the basket that it's almost like when he does get that head of steam, like you can't stop him. And it's times where we want to see Asar be aggressive like that because we know he has it, but he doesn't. He end up missing a layup or something like that. But Ivy has proven that he finishes around the rim well, and that's something that the Pistons have really missed. Is someone that can create their own shot, but also attack the basket with explosiveness and actually finish through contact.
That's what's working for Jalen Duren right now,
Exactly.
but from the center position. Like we see him taking that type of a leap, and you see what it does to a defense. And Jaden Ivey, he's able to get downhill and actually finish. And what we saw him doing last year and stepping into last year is utilizing that downhill action to actually set up his teammates. Cade Cunningham was getting some catch and shoot threes off of those Jaden Ivey actions last year. So it's gonna be interesting, man. This is a situation where the Pistons are playing so well. They have just, I think, moved everybody's expectations before we could even sit and talk about what is this team. They just got back Tobias and Jaden Ivey tonight. Mm-hmm. Bro, they won 12 games in a row.
First game back.
They just got them back tonight.
And they missed Cade and Duren for a duration of that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, we just need a table talk one day where we just talk about, hold on, guys. Wait. Y'all know the season started? The Pistons won 12 in a row? What the frig happened? You know what I mean? They've blown through all of our expectations. I thought they had a good chance through their first 10, 12 games of the season to be firmly a game, maybe over 500. 2 games over 500 at best. That's where I thought they were going to land. I thought, and a lot of people out there were looking at that preseason schedule and saying, this is a gauntlet. I don't know what y'all talking about. Do you see these teams?
Now apparently it's the weakest schedule ever.
Now all of a sudden the revisionist history is that it's the weakest schedule.
It's fine.
It's because, but that's the thing. The Lions always play before the season starts the toughest schedule. Then all of a sudden, who have the Lions beat? It's because the Lions are beating them.
Yes.
That's the whole. Y'all just played the
weak.
Packers. Well, give the Packers the 2 wins the Lions took from them. You know what I mean? Look at their record. Look at the Vikings with just 1 more win over the Lions. Last year. Think about that. So the Pistons are going out there right now, and they are putting BTA to teams. Mm-hmm. And this player didn't play. This player. Hey, listen. No matter who's played for the Pistons or not, look what they've done. Jaden Ivey is a firm part of this core rotation when you draft him in the top 5.
Yes.
And he's one of your starters and main contributors before he gets hurt. So I don't know, man. This team is something different. I'm happy to see, obviously, what we're seeing. But more importantly, as a basketball fan, as they showed Jalen Duren drive Miles Turner down from the top of the key. As a basketball fan, this is what I love about it. It's not necessarily just that they're doing it, but the how. We're seeing, Jeff, he's over there already. I'm telling you guys, the desk in the TD booth is bolted down, but it's raising up right now as I'm talking about Jalen Duren. Jeff is over there. Because that's what I'm saying. It's awesome seeing they're winning because Jalen Duren's taking not just a lead. We were like, well, can he make 2 more buckets a game and grab a couple more rebounds? He was like, F y'all. What? I'm a star.
He's like,
I'm getting my own offense. His 7 of 10 in the past was because he caught 5 lobs and 2 putbacks. Now it's because he's creating his own offense. How many times did you see him create his own offense? Not the lob from Cade. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. That's why I love what we're seeing right now. It's because of how they're getting. They could have won 12 games in a row, and it could have looked similar last year, and I wouldn't be as impressed. But because we're seeing Cade take that superstar leap, we're seeing Duren take that star leap, we're seeing some of the other players, whether their offense is there or not, still find ways to contribute. That's the sign of a very, very, very healthy team. And I knock on wood, because proverbially healthy, but we also want them to literally continue to be healthy as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what you want to see more from Jalen Duren?
What
I want to see more from Jalen Duren, just because he's flashed it, and now I want to see it more.
Talk to me, man. Get greedy about it.
I want to see where sometimes, even when Cade is on the floor, where they just kind of give him the ball. Give him the ball, let him work a little bit. Give him the ball in the high post, up toward that block, or, maybe short corner because he's shown the ability to knock down that little mid-range shot if they back off too far. I mean, so I would just love to see them incorporate that a little bit more, especially in the offense.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? With Kool-Aid, you good.
Shout out to the GOAT, man.
Shout out to the GOAT. So the thing that Kool-Aid brought up so eloquently on that soliloquy, is that this Piston team is winning despite a lot of players going in and out of the lineup and new guys calling up. And you know what that speaks to, Jeff?
Yeah.
That speaks to a coach of the year in JB Bickerstaff.
Who should have been coach of the year last year.
He should have been coach of the year last year. And guess what?
Let's just make it very clear, and that's what it kind of seems like. Let's make it clear. Let's make it obvious. All right, y'all wanted to say, we had to be the best. Well, now we're the best.
Yeah.
So what can they say now? Besides, he is coach of the year. He just took what was previously the worst team in NBA history, and now look at where they're at. Top of the East.
Top of the East is right, man. Top of the East is right. Listen, this Piston team has an MVP candidate, a top 3 MVP candidate right now, and I won't hear an argument for anything else. And they have a leading favorite for Coach of the Year, and they have a leading favorite for Most Improved, and they have 2 All-Stars. Quite simply put, the Pistons are the best story in the NBA right now. And as a longtime Pistons fan, to be able to have that moment, I think is very, very special. So I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful to everyone in the chat. I think we are going to wrap this one up here. So go ahead and get some likes in this stream before we head out. Next game against the Indiana Pacers. Obviously a team that, doesn't necessarily have the greatest standing right now in the NBA. But, look, it's another road game. You got to go out there. You got to take advantage. Pistons have a chance to tie history.
Let's go. On
Monday. Kool-Aid, before we get out of here, how are you feeling about any closing remarks you want to make?
Yeah, shout out to Lindsey Hunter.
Shout out to Lindsey Hunter.
Shout out to Lindsey Hunter. He calls, you take the call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to him, man. He's pumped up about these Pistons too, man. So shout out to the support and everything. And I think, honestly, that's what it is. To see those guys excited about this, man. To be at the Pistons event the other night, the Kroger event at the Pistons Performance Center, and to see just how light and loose they were, and to know they're literally doing this event. It's late at night. They're going to be there until everybody gets the giveaways and such. And then they literally got up the next morning early, practiced, hit the flight, came out here, and then BTA them. It's just like the vibes are just good. This feels like such a real team. It just feels like, can we put them there, though, because they just got there. But real is real. I told y'all there's no BBLs here. That might be my ending, my closing statement every stream we do here.
Yeah.
I can't yell that in LCA.
Yeah.
But I'll do that here in our studios. Look, there's no BBLs here. This thing is all the way real for your Detroit Pistons. And I think that's what it is. It feels uncomfortable. Look at them at the top of the standings, man. It feels uncomfortable. Cade Cunningham, he's going to be an MVP conversation. It's uncomfortable. Jalen Duren. Sorry, whoever you thought was getting Most Improved Player. Sorry if you thought, my center's making the All-Star. Someone's getting a spot ran, bro.
And you have a good chance that somebody on this team, I don't know who it's going to be, making a case for 6th man of the year.
Yeah.
You got somebody, and you know what's the one you missed
Watch
while
when
you were gone?
Devontae Green.
Well, it ain't going to be Karis LeVert. When you get that call, Kool-Aid, the one thing you did miss is to add to that list,
talk to me.
Coach of the Year, JB Bickerstaff. What is the argument? What's the argument?
That banner all year,
What's the argument? Last year there wasn't an argument and he still lost. This year there's literally
one of
no
these
argument.
coaches in Detroit better get this award, dog.
Yes.
Or else
Shout
we will
out.
make one for them. And we'll
Shout
put
out,
all
man.
their faces on it. We'll put Dan Campbell on one. I almost said Dwayne Casey.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell and JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
And you know what? No, AJ Hinch got robbed too.
Yeah.
He got robbed too. We'll put them on there. And then Hinch. I feel like Hinch got robbed.
Yeah.
Like all these guys got robbed. Hinch, Campbell, JB Bickerstaff, and then it's what? We got to see what McClellan does this year.
Yep.
But Red Wings are in first place.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, in the chat, Dust Taker had a good question, and his question is, "What if we get Beasley back?" I don't know. I don't know because of the fact that look at the depth already on this team.
I would take him in a heartbeat.
You would take him. You would take him.
It's a good problem to have.
Of course, because he's super Chaz. Like he's super. He's Chaz with you get the little flower power and all that stuff. And Mario, like that's a little bit different because all he wants to do is shoot the cover off the ball. He's just, Kate, I'm open. And if it doesn't work, because of the pedigree we've seen with this team already, you can plug and play and keep him going.
Absolutely.
And the only thing that kind of, it's just like we don't know when, if that is going to be something, but we don't know when the NBA is going to officially end their investigation in on that situation.
The NBA's investigation going to end when the feds, it's a little different because you're hearing all this stuff. Like, he might be cleared, he might this, he might that. And they're like, look, so much confusion. Until the feds are done with the NBA, it's so tricky right now.
Exactly.
Because if one thing pops up and you signed him, that just gets tricky.
Yeah. And you know what? So it's kind of like you were in a situation where, like, dang, it's like you almost, would you love to have him back? Yes. But at the same time, this team has to move forward. They have to keep moving on, and right now they're moving on. I mean, they had plans to re-sign him, but now they're moving on. They had Duncan. All right, so this team just has to keep on the gas. What they're doing now, on their historic win streak, and it might be a situation where Beasley is not even cleared this whole entire season. So it's a tricky situation that. Would you love to have him? Yes, because he provides shooting, and he's already comfortable with his team.
I think I got the final send-off for tonight. If you guys have any other words, definitely get them in. And if not, I got this little nugget from Pistons PR.
Let's
on that guy back there. With 29 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds in tonight's dub over the Bucks, Cade Cunningham joins. I think you guys will like some of these names that he's at this table with. Joined Michael Jordan. You might have heard of him. Big O Oscar Robertson, Luka Doncic, Trae Young, get him out of here, and Nate Archibald as the only players in NBA history with a streak of 25-plus points and 10-plus assists in 6 straight games. If Cade pushes that to, I believe, 10, he will have the lead or be tied for the lead. So it's multiple streaks going on right now. The Pistons winning streak, if they get one more, they tie their franchise record. If they get 2 more, they break the record, and Cade Cunningham has his own 25-10 record going as well. So this is exciting times. It's fun times for the Detroit Pistons, and I think that speaks exactly what it is, man. Cade Cunningham. Pistons win again.
You'll love it.
12 straight, 129, 116.
Getting used to it. It's not numb to me, man. I'm appreciating every single win because I saw what it took to get here, man. So I'm so happy for these guys.
One more
man.
Dust Taker in all casts. Even LeBron didn't do that. You know what?
That's a fact.
Last year, there were 3 names who were averaging the 25, 9, and 6. Do you understand that those 3 names were LeBron, Cade, and Jokic until the second half of the season? Then there was only 2 names that remained.
Cade
and Jokic. I keep seeing that with these early stats. Cade just keeps being, in this era, his stat lines are only comparable to people like Shea, Luka, and Jokic.
Hey, Chris, didn't I call it? Didn't I call it?
In your eyes.
I love it, man. Hey, look, I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong and have the have
MJ
the MVP.
had 10 in a row.
But I don't know. It's going to be tough to get the MVP from that boy Jokic.
It is, but
do you think he can get to the 10 in a row? 25 and 10 that Jordan had. Like, these are the narrative building blocks. When you talk about can he get the MVP, when you start seeing that he's doing things through stretches of seasons
like that
only the greats did, that
adds
helps.
onto it.
If he can get something like that early in the season, he starts off the season like this.
This is so unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to be like, okay, Pistons may come back down to earth eventually, but then it's just like, I don't think they're going to, bro. They look so real.
What's the point to like? What's the
People
thing you
call
can
it
point to
slappies,
say? What's the point to say that you can logically say the Pistons are going to come back down to earth?
I think their earth is top 3 seed in the East. Like I was thinking, y'all got to host a playoff game. I'm like, no, you guys got to get through some rounds.
All roads might go through Detroit. All roads might go through Detroit.
But that might be where it ended, man.
You know what? That's a bad place for other teams to come be.
Yeah. Hey, it's so cold.
That place is gonna be rocking. You know what it's gonna be. You know what
see.
it's gonna be when it is a game 7 at home. Do you know what that is gonna be like to win in Detroit? Do you know
with a
what
top
team,
3 MVP Cade?
What team is gonna come here and take that from us?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
No one.
I saw Jaden Ivey on the fast break.
Shout out.
Might be it. Shout out Jaden Ivey on the
Shout out
return
Jaden
and
Ivey.
Tobias.
Shout out
Harris.
everybody in the chat, man. One more time.
We were sitting here wondering how they was gonna get the rotation together. They played everybody.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
What rotation?
if y'all have smashed that like button, we appreciate you guys greatly for being here, for supporting us. This is awesome, man. This is awesome. Yo, it takes a lot. You know, I went to church today. Saturdays is Sabbath for me with the fam, and I know everybody else is getting things done. And we are like, all right, guys. We saw the Avengers signal go up. The Pistons signal was up in the sky, and we were like, all right, we to the studio tonight. So
Can't miss a game during this streak.
it goes. It's. I'm telling you, that's what I'm telling these guys. Like, it's awesome to have you guys support here. So if you didn't get the opportunity to, go ahead and smash that like button before you leave. We had Jeff in the TD booth. Shout out to Jeff
Shout
for
out
holding
to
it
Jeff.
down.
Sir.
We got ball nowhere Platte over here, man. Chris
Thank
Platte of the heavyweights and
Yes,
of
sir.
this Woodward basketball coverage team. And it's your boy Brandon Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Till next time, boy. 12 in a row. Let's rock.
Peace.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports